Everybody doing tonight? All right, I'm working on a new setup now, so I can actually fade the music in and out and stuff like that as I go between the different scenes and stuff. So hopefully that's working all right. We'll find out. Um, anyway, hey Jim, how you doing? Oh no, almost late. Oh no. That damn Lindsay. She almost got you. Oh no. Well, I've got something maybe to keep Lindsay distracted. I mean, it's going over the dream stuff today, so I mean, everybody's distracted by the dream stuff. So, anyway, how you doing, Jim? How was your holiday? Hope everything went well. Hope you got what you wanted. Hope you didn't get anything you didn't want. Like me, I've got now a broken heater and the weirdest freaking keyboard and mouse issue that I've ever experienced in my life, as well as I treated myself and I've got a brand new graphics card coming. So, in trying to fix my issue, I tore my graphics card out of my computer and decided that I wasn't going to put it back in. Everything went well till the wife's crazy mother showed up. I got awkward. But good otherwise. Okay, well that's overall a win. I was beat up by my wife's family. Basically, we went bowling. I haven't bowled in probably, I'm gonna say close to at least 15 years. Anyway, apparently bowling does a lot of effectiveness to your body. On top of, I found out one of the nephews was sick, so pretty sure they either shared what they had or I was just beat from going through the whole bowling thing. But I didn't do too bad. I think I was second or third in the family, so that's not bad. Wasn't first, so I didn't get the looks. Wasn't last, so I didn't get the looks. So it's a win. But yeah, sorry if it's a little brighter in here than normal. So I have to use my old keyboard and mouse setup, which thankfully I'm a pack rat and I don't throw things away, but it's not backlit. So if I got a chance in hell of making this stream work, I've got to have some light here. But other than that, I do got a bit of Bloody Mary action going on. I figured it's basically a New Year's stream for me. That's the way I do it. I come off as mediocre at everything. No one pays attention. You can hide. Yep. Perfect. I mean, you're getting me right there. That's the best way to kind of go through things, I feel like. I did want to kind of shout out. Let me see if I can do this appropriately. I forgot to tag her in the description for the video. But I got new artwork done. As you guys can see, my lovely banner now. It is actually my computer setup. I had this artwork done. Thanks. I had it done by Nixie. Nixie's fantastic artist. We kind of played around with a couple different ideas, and I'd seen some of her other work. Let's see if I can. Oh, come on. There she is. I always put two X's in her name. But Nixie's got some nice different artwork. But there was actually something in her, was it her art store or was it in her Teespring? I think it was in her Teespring. Nope. Wait, that might have been it and I just didn't go far enough. I think this is it. So, yeah, Nixie's got a lot of different awesome artwork, but she had this one particular image that caught my eye and kind of inspired the whole thing. It's called Last Cherry Blossom. I don't know where it's at. I don't have enough knowledge to do this. If I was smart, I would have opened this up beforehand. But she does a lot of art, or anime-inspired art. But this is the image that kind of inspired the whole artwork that I got done. I loved it when I saw it, and I was like, ooh, I kind of want something like that. Um, it's just really, really, really unique take. So there's the inspiration. But yeah, Nixie's got quite a bit of stuff. Please go check her out. Pricing is more than reasonable. Um, she's fantastic to work with. Um, yeah, I mean, really, that sums up the artwork side of things. So I've gotten into the whole like astral photography thing, Jim, and so especially while we're like, so we did this cruise, and like I was excited because apparently like the cruise ship we booked is like one of the few cruise ships where you can go out on the helipad in front of the bridge, and so it's like pitch black at night, and that was awesome. Aside from being windy as hell, it was awesome because like you could legit go see stars, which is like one of my big things I really wanted to do. And yeah, I've really gotten into my banner on my YouTube is actually this is taken from the cruise ship, and then I digitally enhanced it as best I could, and then just threw my typewriter writing over top of it and called it good. But yeah, I got a couple really bomb pictures, especially for coming from a phone and not a professional camera. Yeah, light pollution is awful in a city. I know because I deal with it. It's I don't know if you've ever looked at like this. There's like the Bortle maps that like show like the light pollution and stuff. I actually was able to find a place that had like super low light pollution that was like maybe 15 minutes outside of the city, and it's just the way that it was actually at a public park, and it's just set up in such a respect that like it literally was 15-20 minutes away, and it was like a Borderla 2, and I got that's kind of like where I tested out the whole idea of the astral photography thing. And yeah, I quickly ended up getting myself a nice little tripod, and yeah, I'm just using my phone. I it's nothing amazing. Is I got a Pixel 7 Pro, and I really like the camera on it. I took some pretty cool pictures of another cruise ship while on our cruise ship while at sea, and that actually came up pretty cool too. I'll have to share that sometime. But yeah, so I'm going to be going over the dream stuff today, and I didn't really know how YouTube was going to do with the M word in the title, so that's why I put minors as that. Plus, it's got a little inspiration from something we'll see pretty much right off the top, related to the whole dream drama. But yeah, I've got a couple of videos I'm going to cover, and then probably do dreams response video. I got like a couple like nitpicky things about this that we'll go over, but and then we'll kind of do a follow up because that's why I wanted to like really kind of cover this. And I feel like this is kind of got to the point now where it's done. I don't think you're gonna see any more come from this. Apparently, several of the accusatory accounts, have deleted and deactivated, and so just as quickly as the allegations came, they've now gone. His fan base is nuts. I've got some funny screenshots of just like how unhinged they are. So to go into it, when we get into his big video here, literally, where is it? Like all the proceeds from this video being monetized is going towards a charity. Um, I love the fact that there's actually people that straight up reposted his his truth video just so that he wouldn't get money to then donate to charity. Like they are some really unhinged people. Like they straight up they live in doorless worlds. They're so unhinged. But let's start with Turkey Tom's video. So this was made about a month ago. Dreams video came out what, about a week ago? Yeah. Well over, well, no, 10 days ago actually. almost on the dot. So this video, first summarizing the allegations, came out a month ago. Then we have a kind of tag along video that Tom did. And I think both of these videos did pretty good because I watched Lance's video. Lance's video is shorter than Tom's by like 50%. Tom adds a little more context and obviously commentary to it. Plus he's got this tag on, so it actually like triples the length of Lance's video. Lance is someone you'll hear mentioned in Turkey Tom's video. What else? And then I pulled up Blowblacks because who better than the Twitter dude to go over all the Twitter fallout that kind of surrounded this the truth video. But yeah, let's start with this
T-shirt. Okay, all right.
Playing Minecraft.
Okay. First off, I'm gonna check and see and make sure that this is working because I've changed things up so much. Come on. Dreams video came out, what, about a week ago? Yeah. I watched Lance's video. Lance is someone you'll hear mentioned in Turkey Tom's video. Shut up, stupid. Out that kind of surrounded this. The truth video. But yeah, let's start with this
T-shirt. Okay.
Okay, good, great, grand. We're working. So just a note, like I changed it so that like now my browser has its own sound setting thing and my mic's got its own sound setting thing and then the music's on its own sound, so that way I can like fade in, fade out, and like actually move across like different views, and the volume shouldn't cut in or out or anything. So even if I had a stinger, it shouldn't cut in or out. But not to say that I'll ever do that because I'm not that fancy.
Craft in a cave looking for diamonds.
What does it say?
That's funny. I'm in the same cave looking for
So yeah, that's where my title comes from.
miners.
So Dream, in my mind, is like the PR guy. He wants to always have a clean image, hence why he was always apologizing to his fans back in the day for things like the war cry on stream and stuff like that, when he didn't really do anything.
By the way, when I was gonna go through all this, I looked into covering like Dream's history on stuff. He actually is kind of a unique character in that like he'll push the edges on like things he does and then doesn't really like backtrack, but he'll like apologize for it. Because, like, it's like, oh, I didn't realize that this was going to upset so many people. Sorry. And then he'll try something else edgy down the road, and he'll be like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize this was going to upset so many people. So, I don't know. I don't think that affects his truth video that we'll watch later, but it's just kind of, he's a unique character in that way.
Anything wrong, but he instantly cowered to his like ardent fan base. But for years now, there have been rumors about allegations regarding Dream just floating around. Like once in a while, I would hear a murmur about it, see a tweet about it, but it never really went anywhere. The evidence or lack thereof was not properly compiled. So as far as I'm concerned, this dude is innocent until proven guilty. Now, the only comprehensive video I've seen about this is from Lance.
And so there's Lance's channel if you want to go check it out. Lance, like I said, he's got a shorter video. I'll throw it up when I do my little playlist thing that I do. By the way, I did want to stop and say thank you to all of those who subscribed between last stream and this stream. I really appreciate it. You pushed me over the 50 mark, which, you know what? That was like a small goal for me, so I really freaking appreciate it. But yeah, Lanza's got kind of like a shorter... His content's pretty good. I really like the video. But it's just a short video. He's just going over literally like the accusation stuff, but he made it very interesting. Tom's video is a lot more comprehensive. Again, he's got more commentary.
He's a commentary channel, and he did a pretty good job of summarizing the story overall. If you want to see it more in depth, you can watch his video, but I am gonna like re-summarize the events of his video here. The story goes that a girl going by OxyClean on Twitter came out about her experience with Dream the day after he revealed his face to his audience. She says he showed his face to her when she was a minor. She shows a few screenshots that look like cringy flirting. I haven't seen any proof of illicit material exchanged at all in these DMs, but from what I've seen, she never implied that happened either. It's all just like cringy flirting. But it's hard to tell what the allegation even is here. Like, is a 20-year-old guy talking to a 17-year-old girl grooming? I would say probably not. And her intention with coming out seems to be more to embarrass him than share a traumatic story of how she was victimized. Now, there could be more here that hasn't been shared. There could be more information. What she posted herself.
By the way, there's a lot of the stuff that's going to come up with this is just kind of crazy as far as like these accusations to where he's being labeled this, and like as far as anything goes, aside from this claim, which it gets dispelled, and I do appreciate how he dispelled it. He did not have like any inappropriate contact that I know of. He dispels a lot of the alleged contacts or contacts and context very quickly. Just it's crazy, kind of, you know, like you were saying there, Joe. It's insane. He's got very, very, very unwell fan base.
Itself was pretty limited, and I'd be open to my mind being changed. But even here in her thread, she alludes to rumors about Dream talking to 13 or 15-year-olds, which would be absolutely insane, groundbreaking, ground-shattering, and that definitely would be grooming, but she has no proof, right? She has literally no proof, and she never posted proof anywhere, right? And I've never heard an account of someone that young coming out. I haven't. Now, to be clear, Dream and OxyClean definitely messaged, okay? But as for if he did anything wrong, from what I've seen, it doesn't seem that way. A lot of people will point to a power imbalance, and to be clear, power imbalances do exist. For example, Dream is a famous, rich YouTube guy, and this OxyClean girl is presumably not an e-celeb. She's like a normal person, or as normal as you can be when you're a Dream fan. But the existence of a power imbalance only matters if there's an abuse of that power, like pressuring someone to do things they don't want to do. And from what I can tell, Dream knew her age. He didn't see her age as an issue, and there was no pressure going on whatsoever. There wasn't like some kind of weird, hey, baby girl, I'll make you famous if you do this for me. Like, nothing like that happened. They consensually messaged.
It's flirty and it's cringe, but it isn't nothing to hold against either person as something with malicious intent. And implying other things like the 13 or 15-year-old doesn't make your claim look any good without any hard proof. It really muddies the waters and makes it look out to be somebody who had malicious intent when revealing all this information.
But this wouldn't be the end of it, okay? Another thread came out by someone named RuPaul's Drag Race Plays Roblox. Great name, bro. Fire. Amazing. Internationally known. And this thread included a user named Amanda claiming that when she was 17, Dream sent her graphic images of himself and accused him of breaking the law. Now, there does seem to be some proof that she knew him and they talked, and she ended up posting a ton of TikToks to try and, like, prove her story, right?
Hi, I am not happy to be making this video, but I'm Amanda.
By the way, Tom's response to this, I feel like, is pretty damn measured and pretty accurate. He really, in my opinion, covers exactly what this person was looking for.
And you might know me as one of the girls that was groomed by Dream. I do not blame anyone for not believing me. I wouldn't believe it either. I was a Dream stan, and that is why this happened. The Instagram DMs go from September 23rd, 2020 up until the beginning of January when he added me on his Snapchat.
The rest of the TikToks linked here basically are her going through Instagram to show that the messages are real and they were in fact in contact with each other.
I don't know how to make you guys believe that this is real, but this is his account. This is the Dream account. This is him. You hit messages, it's him. You hit.
By the way, there's Dream points out a pretty good point here that I didn't even notice watching this initially, but I mean it's kind of explained away in a way, but it's, hey, they're using a phone literally to record another phone. That kind of looked sus. But one thing I did notice is up here in the top, the no service, and they did turn on Wi-Fi. So, I mean, that's probably an old phone for them, and this is their newer phone that they're on. But I did kind of, you know, Dream pointed that out, and I was like, I never really thought about that, because you just take it for granted, like, oh, I'm seeing this, so they're showing me.
The top here, it's him. There's no editing this. This is real shit. I DM'd him in the end of 2020, telling him how much of like a supporter I have been and how.
And so here's another thing is that September 2020, this I did not notice before. She starts here, but look at where the scroll bar is. That alludes to like there's a lot more context there that's maybe being missed.
How much he makes me happy, and it started off very wholesome.
Because I don't know how many of you notice, but and when I start off on any page scrolling, the scroll bar is always up at the top. It doesn't start in the middle of the page.
We get down here to January. He tells me to add him on Snap, Dream Clay. He sent me a picture of his penis, and he sent me a picture of him nutting to me. I clearly sent him stuff as well. I'm not responding to bullshit comments. You believe me or you don't.
There's another interesting thing that I thought about in hindsight with this is that obviously you're not going to show a straight up nude on screen unless you're really looking to break TOS somehow. But she never like I could scroll this page and like you could see like the bottom of this image, and then say if I had like an infinite scroll, or even say like looking over here, like okay, so you can see the bottom of this, and then if I scroll, it's not gonna do it. No, it does. Okay, if I scroll, I could even, if I really wanted to, scroll just right to where you could see the top of the image without ever seeing the middle of it, and like okay, you can tell that this image and this image, well, obviously there, but see this image, like you could kind of like do it without doing it, obviously. You could allude to it without actually showing anything. And why she doesn't show any of the context after, or any of the context leading directly up to it without maybe just showing that. I mean, she's already been sent it, according to her. She's already seen it. It's not like he's, I don't know. I've dare I say it's not going to re-traumatize her? I don't think it would. I mean, it's not like you're going to get another, unless it's really that dramatic and that traumatizing to you. But I guess maybe you could even go as far as like deleting that image out and then just show literally before or after. But there's some of that we'll get into. And I don't know as much with necessarily like images. I know that I can go back and access a video that I got sent on Instagram that probably would have been like 5 or 6 years ago now, and I don't want to delete that, so I didn't go through to try and test that. But yeah. Anyway, keep going.
Now, these tweets would get a lot of responses, including people being confused as to what the ages here actually were. I'm all for supporting the victim, but if you were sexting and didn't stop, or say you...
Oh, another thing. Dates. So we're looking at October of 2022. So we're literally a bit over a year since like this whole thing started. So there's been a year of context building around this. So it's taken a while to get here.
You weren't wanting this kind of relationship, isn't that on you? You said you were 17. At that age, you should know what you want, right? How did he groom you if you sent stuff willingly? Also, you went to Orlando and didn't say he told you to go, and if you didn't want to meet him to do sexual things, couldn't you have just said no? What exactly was the grooming? What exactly was the pedophilia? Please, other commenters, feel free to correct and inform me. Also, just want to include ages and dates specifically. The first...
One other thing that I did want to point out too, and this is going to go into like the hot take file probably. I feel like there is an ever increasing trend. I say the word trend for a reason here. Okay, so I feel like there's an obvious trend that I feel a lot of people have had to have noticed at this point, that more and more people are actually claiming to be undiagnosed autistic or undiagnosed ADHD or ADD or whatever. I've seen literally videos of people straight up faking Tourette's and like rare stuff like multi-personality disorder, and like it's insane because this happens in such a small percentage of the population, yet we're seeing such a spike in it because being I don't really want to say being a victim, but being a victim kind of earns you some clout, I feel like, now. And I feel like if it was really something that was bothering you to a point, you would go to the proper individuals to help with that. And social media is not the proper place to go with that. I feel like there has been an increasing trend over the years with that ties into this of victimization, because we've gone to pushing to where victims are so empowered. So like if we look at the Quite situation, right? When he came, yeah, I believe it's a female to male person in that story. So I'm going to use he, him. But when he came out and said that, hey, I was attacked and all this stuff by Quite, there was this whole like rush to support the victim. And, you know, it's kind of almost like the, I can't remember what it's technically called, but like there's like the Angels of Death kind of people who are serial murderers that will like be in healthcare and stuff, and they will kill people in that way, in a way that basically puts them in a life-saving position, and so that then they're heralded as the hero even though the person passed. And I feel like you kind of get that same type of situation going on with these victims that come out with false, particularly, allegations against more popular individuals. Like, it's not to go to say like that there wasn't like the Harvey Weinsteins and like oh god, so many individuals that really did do harmful things, and really like Bill Cosby and all that. Like, these people genuinely did awful stuff, and their victims were irreparably harmed. But there's a certain segment of the population that sees that and kind of wants people to care for them in that way, and I feel like that's why you're seeing a rise in false allegations, particularly against persons in power. Let's say that. I hate undiagnosed stuff. You aren't any of that if you don't have a diagnosis. Exactly. Like, I'm sure I could sit there and rattle off a million things that I'm undiagnosed for. I'm pretty sure I got undiagnosed PTSD. I refuse to go to a psychiatrist or psychologist. I know I have it. I've done personal things to improve myself. I don't go around, I don't flaunt it and all that other stuff. I've gone back and forth. I might have ADD, but meh. I'm not autistic. Like, I don't understand like the infatuation with being placed in these like hyper needs groups. Like, I am physically disabled. Like, I've got bad eyesight. Hey Sagi, how you doing? I've got bad eyesight, I got bad knee, bad shoulder, bad back. I got mobility issues and all sorts of crap. And, you know, I would trade that all just to be normal again. Like, I'd rather not be disabled. I'd rather not go through pain, like, randomly. And I know there's other people that deal with stuff. You know, I feel like it's pretty well publicly known, you know, like Matt Pitt's physically disabled. Toxic Pitlock is physically disabled. And I guarantee you, if you went up to either of them and asked them, hey, we can make you normal again, you know, say like, even if it was for a period of time, like, I'm sure they would say yes. Like, hey, we can make you normal again for 5 years. I would say yes. I'm pretty convinced in my head that they'd probably say yes, and they're far more disabled than I am. But yeah, let's go back to the video. I kind of ranted about myself there, and I don't like doing that.
First Insta text date.
Back to the
first
pedophilia.
Snapchat text date. Obviously, she ended up stating that she lied about the age she told him and the age on her bio. Are you for real? How are you going to hold a, at the time, 17-year-old victim accountable over a 22-year-old man? Be so serious and seek help.
This is also getting to me anymore too. Okay, let me preface this. So we've gone over the whole White Bowser thing. We went over Nate Dogg, and we've had a couple individuals where, yep, there's an age difference, and they're going after people And I will say, undoubtedly, they should know better. Dream should know better, especially as a public figure. I mean, if I ever got to that point in my life where I was making the money that they're making, I would have PR people. I would have people that are way smarter than me to help me educate and navigate how to, like, handle different situations. Because there's just, I would want that insulation. But, he's a young kid. Like, he really is. This guy's, like, half my age, basically. And this whole, like, we're really, like, scuffing right up into a lot of situations where it's like, when do we draw the line? When do we call someone a pedophile and when do we not? Like, we have people that are literally being groomed, like, starting at 17. Well, it's actually they're 17 and, like, 11 months old and they're groomed till they're 19. Like, can you really say that's... I don't know. I'm not the expert to make the call, but I feel like we really cut a hard line on that 18 number, and it's kind of interesting because if you were to ask me, I don't think most people are adults, or most kids are not adults until you're like 23. Reason being, okay, turn 18, what can you do in life? You can go die, be drafted, whatever. You can go vote. You can no longer buy nicotine. You have to be 21 for nicotine now. You have to be 21 for alcohol, 21 for gambling, 23 to rent a hotel, or is it 23 to rent a hotel room? I think it's 26 to rent a car. So, like, you can't really do anything even until you're at least 21. So, like, in my opinion, a 21-year-old is more adult than, hey, Teddy, how's it going? Are you here to victimize me again, Teddy? I find, too, the victims that fall into disability, the more I'm inclined to believe that it's false. It's, embellishments to make the story seem worse. Yeah, there really is. There's always a lot of embellishment. And my wife is huge into true crime stuff, and so I watch it. And you notice, like, even if without the commentary that goes with it, you pick up things, and, like, you notice that people that are truthfully telling things kind of, like, mitigate things and will keep things short, sweet, to the point because they don't really want to go into detail. You don't want to harp on a situation. And I can't get my God, oh no, Teddy, we lost. Oh no. Oh, here, wait. Just in case. There. I'm guessing that's... I gave you a wrench, Teddy, so that way in case Stream Elements comes back, you can do your battle. I have no idea. I was going off on a point. I totally lost it. Oh, true crime, people telling the truth. Yeah, you kind of keep it short, sweet, and to the point. His non-canon Teddy account. Shouldn't have messed with the AI. Yeah, that could be it, Teddy. But yeah, like, people who tend to embellish, like, probably are a little bit more on the lying side. That's basically the point I was getting to. Yeah. So, Teddy, I've armed you. You're ready to do battle. I don't know if it's even working. I had to reconnect my whole YouTube thing. So it looks like the chat's working fine, but I haven't seen the freaking AI thing come in. So you might have won. But either way, you're armed and you're able to do battle.
He was 19, girl. January 17th, Dream was 23. He was 23, calling a 17-year-old gorgeous AF. Are we talking when they first started texting or Snap or what? Yes, and she was 16 when he added her on Snap. I don't know how old you are, but a 20...
Maybe it was a mutual death, Teddy. There you go. Yeah, I haven't... Oh, my God. I think I just lost a life. Okay, I'm taking the watch off. I clearly cannot operate mildly intoxicated with a watch on. I'm blaming the watch, and that was definitely not the whole issue just there. It was definitely my hand slipping, but you know what? We're blaming the watch. Oh, God. I got a new watch band, and I like the watch band a lot more, so now I wear my watch more. Because before, I didn't want to wear it at all. I just, you know what, Teddy, you snuck into my inner circle and you just surprised me. That's where I'm going to leave that. But I accept your apology, as long as you're sympathetic about it.
22/23-year-old influencer adding a 16-year-old fan on Snapchat and texting her the way he did is not okay. Wasn't she lying about her age though? So that straight up is on her. You should just never lie to people, especially if you plan to get close about your age. Now, with all of this discourse going on at the time, it's a good time to just get the record straight on what we know versus what we don't know. On September 23rd, 2020, this girl messages Dream sending him a nice message. He says thank you. Moving over to January of 2022, she adds him on Snapchat, and this is allegedly when the conversations took.
Again, it's hard because it's covered by her thumb here, but we see like 14th, I'm going to assume, even if that was to the next month, that's almost a month, and look at how much they talked in a whole month.
Place. It goes on for 1 month.
To maybe February 10th is the time frame where we were.
And so this is February 18th. And this is June 14th. So we can assume that all this happened on February 18th. This will become important later.
At some point in August, she tells him she's in Orlando, and allegedly, this is when he suggests that they hook up, and they make plans to.
And that's how I always get them. I play funny memes using my trademark. And before you know it, boom, I'm in the inner circle.
But keep in mind, they never actually had sex.
I informed him that I was coming to Orlando in August, and it was suggested that we meet up and have sex. I was either going to have him come to the resort I was at, or he was going to pick me up and bring him to his house. He told me that he has a chest full of toys that he was going to use on me. And to top it all off, he blocked me after seeing my tweet.
You want evidence for that? Here it is. He blocked me. Gone.
Now, the issue with this, once again, is determining how old this girl was when they actually met. Whether it's 16, whether it was 17, or even 18. And even beyond that, it's possible there are conversations that happened at some point where she did lie that we don't know about. I'm not accusing her of lying right now because I don't know what happened, but, like, I have to have this possibility open in my mind because, you know, I just don't know what happened. This is all behind the scenes.
And that reminds me of the whole, first time. Oh, God, what movie was that?
There's still a lot of DMs we haven't seen. And Dream, to this day, maintains his innocence. For him, with how famous he is, to think that he could get away with lying about something like this continually would be extremely insane. And I know everyone's going to bring up, like, the Minecraft cheating thing, but for years on this, he has maintained his innocence. He has not backed down. He has not really changed his story. And so, from my perspective, it's like, for him to be lying, it would be one of the greatest...
No. I just looked it up, Teddy. It's The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. So, yeah. That's where this all comes from. It's Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Oh, look. Look, your friend is back, Teddy. Guess who's back? Back again. But yeah. Because, here, let me prove it by showing you my generalized Google search. And yeah, 2018 Western film, The Ballad of Buster.
Like catches in all of YouTube history. It would be mind-blowing, okay? Now, this girl did go on to say that she lied about her age online, basically to use Twitter when she was underage, and she explains that here. I didn't lie about my age to any of you, not once during this whole thing. You're reaching to find any reason to hate me. I lied about my age while making an account for Twitter years ago. To be for real, that tweet had no likes because I'm a normal human. I haven't said one lie, not one. Now, with all this happening, Dream wanted to respond, and he did so.
You're brave, Teddy. You're really going to battle already. I'm so sorry for the late post and reply. So this was the twit longer. So this is with just the Amanda allegations. I don't think he did a bad thing here releasing this twit longer. People just said, just I feel like it's a common thing anymore just to go to video. I feel like that's because you get, all the key important things with conversation. Is that how long 86,000 seconds is? Yeah. Nice to know. Sorry, I just got distracted by math. Because then I got that freaking song stuck in my head. From Rent? I don't know. I think it's Rent. Anyway, I don't think Dream did a bad thing here with doing the twit longer. I think people just urge you to post the video because you get tone, context, your inflections. They can see your face, which goes a long way for like when you're trying to be sympathetic. Keynote we've learned in 2023 is don't bring a ukulele. I feel like that's actually made it into the rule book for video apologies now.
With a twit longer. It's always a good time when we get a twit longer, boys and girls. It's like 8 a.m. in the morning right now. And this is about to get my blood flowing, guys. This is my Black Rifle Company coffee or whatever. This is my freaking alpha brain, okay? I'm about to be activated AF. I'm sorry for the late post and reply. I know it's been overwhelming and the uncertainty is horrible in situations like this. I've been in a ton of scheduled meetings for the first time in my life this week and have had so little time to check the internet that
I'm gonna kind of skip through some of this because it gets reiterated later on. Boop.
Says. Now, with that being said, Dream claims that some of these messages are actually fake, so maybe there's more to the story here than we're getting, really.
He says he asked for her age, which is true, and she replies she was under 18. But Dream doesn't mention this message at all in the entire twit.
So he literally does mention that. And he says, how old are you? Never mind, 18. So he obviously seen something to cue him that think that she's 18.
Longer, and instead just says, oh, she said she was 18 and her Twitter bio says she was 18. It's strange that he wouldn't admit he kept talking to her after figuring out she was under 18 despite clear evidence of that being out there, but whatever.
And now we get to the part regarding Amanda, the TikTok girl. The second thread had Instagram DMs from me, again having friendly, normal conversations, sending me art and cool messages before discontinuing it for a while.
Basically gets into the TikTok girl, which she'll also be covered with Dream's video. I think there's better context with Dream's video, so that's the only reason why I'm skipping here.
2021, where she turned 17 in February, and she would have been 16.
So going back to the messages, so again, here we're looking at the start of the messages was in September of 2020. In February of, oh my god, so this whole situation actually goes back like 3 years. Jesus Christ. Mama Max, eat your heart out. So anyway, September 2020, moving forward, 6 months roughly, because I'm not going to math right now. I math for work. I'm not going to math for not work. Roughly 6 months, we'll call it. That's when her 17th birthday was. So 2/17/21, she was 17, so she'd been 16 in these messages. But then over here, we don't see anything to kind of show any real, like, I don't know, like sketchy stuff. I don't know you well enough, Avir, to give you a moderator. I apologize. Hang around a little bit, come talk, chat, and you know what? That may be a possibility. But anyway, so I think the messages that come later, where they're kind of like she's in, what's the word I'm looking for? She's insinuating that he sexted her or whatever, would be another year after this, if I remember right. So 18.
16 years old when they started talking in that nice little fan message DM, which would change things. Another update will come when Amanda posted her supposed driver's permit, which shows that she was born on February 17th, 2004. Now, I guess this could be faked. It is possible, but I guess for the sake of argument, let's just assume it's real, right? So
Funny thing is that I come from that area again, learning to drive, and I can tell you that New York State's kind of looks like that, so I wouldn't be surprised if Jersey's the same way.
this moved the goalpost from meeting them when she's 17 and then she turns 18 at some point to meeting her when she's 16 and then turns 17. And when she's 17, they apparently, supposedly talk about meeting up, according to her. Well, if you did something illegal, shouldn't you go to the cops? Well, according
Thank
to
you.
her, she actually did. Doing what's right. Leave me alone. Not using Twitter till I have everything I need figured out. Could be days. Be patient. I do not have the
There's some straight, like, investigative, like, eat your heart out freaking Discovery Channel, investigation Discovery stuff that goes on with this image.
power or physical evidence to do anything right now. It's a process. Thank you all for advising me to do what's right. And this is the last update we got from this girl, full stop. But we did get a response from Dream. In the midst of everything, he dropped another twit longer. And then the final update here on this particular story is, I guess, like, this other girl claims that Amanda, like, stole her story or something with, like, no proof or anything. Not really sure what to make of this, honestly. If you can't tell already, this entire thing is an absolute mess from front to back. People arguing, responding poorly, contradictions with age, misinformation being spread, honestly, on both sides, right? And beyond that, because this is the insane Minecraft stan community, the most vocal people will exaggerate or lie about what actually happened. Not even the people involved, but just like bystanders on Twitter who want to be involved because they're 14 sitting in study hall and have nothing else to do. And you may notice that I'm being kind of wishy-washy here with my opinion, and that's absolutely by design. Up until this point, so many details could change. I don't know when Dream knew this Amanda girl's age. The OxyClean person sort of had nothing, but this other girl, who claims her stuff is way more damning, doesn't have a DM that I've seen where he says, "Hey, you're 16, I'm in my 20s, what's up?" I don't see that anywhere. And according to her, at one point at least, in her Twitter bio, because she lied about her age to use Twitter, it said she was 18 when she actually wasn't. So I just don't really know what to believe yet, you know? I don't know when Dream knew what he knew, or if he knew anything. And so I must operate under the assumption that what is not proven to be true is not true. That's just how it works. Innocent until...
And I kind of, like, want to pose the whole question here of, like, what's the extent of the burden of proof that somebody's got to go through? And is it because Dream's famous that he has to go above and beyond what, like, maybe a normal person would do? What's a normal person supposed to do? Like, okay, you know, say you're 17 at another school and you're talking to some person online and they say that they're 16, and then you guys start dating and you turn 18, so technically you could fall into Romeo and Juliet stuff. But then what happens if they turn out to actually be 14 and you didn't know because the only thing you saw was their MySpace profile because they had groovy freaking tunes on their MySpace profile with a bunch of HTML code, and you just fell in love with that shit and you just got totally transfixed on that, and you wanted to be in that top 10. It was top 10 or top 8. And you're like, nah, this is all the proof I need? Or do you gotta, like, actually go through and get a, you know, hair follicle sample and, like, background test and, like, all that? What's the burden of proof on the person here?
proven guilty. Now, if there is a real police investigation of some kind, then there also may be another reason why we haven't gotten more information or messages, because it's all sealed up because they want to do the case right and not F it up, right? Public involvement can hurt cases like this sometimes, and that is a real possibility, but for now, we just don't know. And to be honest, at the same time, given that the police have yet to pursue the Giggly Goon Clown case and a lot of other cases of predatory behavior online, they're not always the fastest to act on stuff like this, and so as a result, it may be difficult to get anything out of them, even if Dream is guilty. Now, you may be asking, but Tom, why are you talking about all this now? All this drops in 2022.
Okay, so before we get into the rest of these allegations, what was I gonna say? Crap, it entered and left the brain immediately. So we have all those allegations. We have everything covered with the Dream video coming up. Yeah, I think to kind of shed a little light on things, why this timeline took so long is when we get into the Dream video, I want to really, 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 really look at the evidence that he's putting forward. He puts forward some stuff that, in my opinion, had to take time in order to acquire thoroughly.
Now it's 2020 freaking 3. Why the video? Well, all this has come back up due to some Twitter shenanigans, and Dream is defending himself again and honestly having like a little bit of a public meltdown, which, Dream, to be honest, bro, like you're not doing yourself any favors right now by tweeting and like riling these people up. You need to just like shut the up and like make one video response and then just like not talk about it again. This is what the most intelligent minds of our micro celebrity generation are doing. People who are far more provably disgusting and guilty than Dream have done that and been fine. So like, Dream, bro, like just make your video, okay? Make your video, get your story straight, and then that's it. So as far as I can tell, it starts with this clip from Spark Dahlia on Twitter, which has a video of Dream on stream saying this girl he messaged had in her bio that she had graduated high school, so he assumed she was of age when he messaged her, and on top of that he says even if she was a minor, it wouldn't matter.
First of all, I didn't know she was a minor because she had something about her graduating high school in her bio on Instagram. And on top of that, it doesn't matter that she was a minor. Like, Snapchat's a messaging platform.
Now, a lot of people are saying this clip sounds bad, but this is out of context, okay? Firstly, he could have said way more than this that could totally change the meaning of what he said here. And secondly, if Dream was 19 messaging a 17-year-old girl, even though technically she's a minor, that's not an age gap I'm particularly concerned about. They're 2 years apart. Who cares? But keep in mind, I don't know the age of the girl in question or the age of Dream at the time. I'm just posing a hypothetical here. So then this person also quote tweets their own tweet saying, let's get hashtag drop Dream trending again. I don't care anymore. There's no way someone who goes live on stream.
So this is the start of the just sheer insanity that has kind of permeated X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, for like the last year, is a bunch of people like this, and like every time it would like settle down, something else would bubble to the surface and you'd get them all riled up.
Dream admits to doing such horrible things, admits to grooming someone, has not yet been deplatformed, and faces no consequences. And so with this tweet, everyone gets riled up and calls Dream a groomer again. But of course, he responds. Not with a video like he should, but with a twit longer on.
So by the way, we're going to see that word come up a lot with the grooming thing. The way I always contextualize it is that you're basically manipulating with intention to gain benefit from it. So obviously, you know, there's a sexual benefit from it and there could be other benefits from it, but you're manipulating someone for your benefit. So like keeping that basic bare bones like definition in your mind. Watch all these allegations and what they're alleging and how they use this word. Because let's also, again, I'm sorry I keep going off on tangents, but understand that the legal system even has a hard time with this. I don't know. I mean, I could probably look it up. Grooming's not illegal in a lot of places. Does that mean it's wrong? Or not wrong or whatever? Like, no, obviously it's wrong. But it's so hard to prove in a court of law. So, because you have to prove that manipulation with intent. So it's kind of like premeditated murder. You got to prove, like, where do you define the whole premeditation thing? Like, if I go, oh, I really want to kill Teddy. And then I kill Teddy. Like, is there a period of time that has to happen in between that thought and me doing the act that it becomes premeditation? Like, do I gotta write it down and stuff? So it's kind of hard to just, you know, show that intent to do harm kind of thing, that you're gonna manipulate for your benefit.
On Twitter. Actually, it's not really a twit longer, guys. This is just a giant tweet. Thanks for the character limit increase, Elon. Shout out Musk Enterprises for aiding Dream in writing his Twitter essays. Tesla still sucks, though. Thousands of likes on this is crazy. Using a 10-second clip to purposefully spread misinformation and lie is so disgustingly vile. I did not admit to do.
Yeah, I don't even really care for Dream. Like, I'm very neutral on the dude. But yeah, I agree. It's super easy for me to not engage with Dream and not having to throw hissy fits and cancel him. Like, That's a normal mindset in my opinion.
Doing horrible things at all. Literally the exact opposite of what happened. Here's summarized context for those who want to see what was actually said. No one was groomed. She lied about taking legal action. She lied about providing more proof later, and lied about almost everything that was shared. It's been over a year since she said she would provide proof. I have and will be releasing the Snapchat data, Instagram logs, Twitter history, and timeline, which proves by a matter of fact that she deleted certain messages, lied and hid context, and that she never provided these easily obtainable logs because they contradicted some of her own words. I primarily use Snapchat as a messaging platform before I revealed my face because I was hiding what I looked like and everything else about my life IRL. I had many people from online games and content creation on it and used it for everything, so I didn't look at Snapchat as a big deal. I changed my mind on that before this even happened and made a private Snapchat for close friends. Her story contradicts itself many times, with her saying that we planned a local meetup while I was faceless and would literally leave the state just to go to the dentist and hadn't shown my face to even my best friends yet, with her liking and replying to tweets of mine and defending me from criticism only a week before she posted about how horrible I was, with her not posting a single screenshot, video, log, or any bit of evidence of anything she claimed.
So I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't until really like hearing some of this that it makes sense when you look at Dream's video, the truth video, where he's talking about his face reveal and doxing and why it's such a big deal. It literally does actually feed into all of this stuff because he was so, I don't know, I guess he wanted to like really build up the hype with it. So like he says here, is going out of state to see the dentist and stuff, and even close friends didn't know, and all that fun stuff.
Other than that, we had a friendly conversation, with her DMing me from her IRL Instagram with no fan posts and only her real life info, deleting posts, and actively hiding that she was currently a big parasocial fan. On top of that, she had something in her bio insinuating that she was an adult, so I had no reason to even think about her age. Nothing inappropriate happened, so I wasn't looking into whether she was 17.9, 18, or 30. It doesn't even matter if she wasn't an adult, because we were just having short, friendly conversations. She wasn't groomed.
Again, another thing here, I just want to make sure I'm using the right word here, but I thought he was being a little like hyperbolic. I think that's the word I wanted to use, with saying 17.9 here, 18 or 30, and it turns out that those are all actually applicable ages. There's usually a component that's already illegal, like having or exchanging photos. Yeah, exactly, Jim. Yeah, the whole intent thing gets covered with other portions of it.
And we weren't even friends. I even provably tried deleting her from my Instagram inbox multiple times, but Instagram doesn't let you unless you block someone. I did not reply in detail publicly, besides denying the accusation immediately at first, due to waiting on her claim that she was taking legal action and providing more proof and advice from my lawyer. She never did either. I did not lash out publicly in frustration because I had to be very careful and think about how my response could impact future victims' willingness to come forward against an abuser. I'll be going into more organized detail later in a video on one of my channels with far more than this, and just uploading all of everything for anyone to go through. But there's a lot to say, and it's a delicate thing to talk about in general. So Dream finally went nuclear. He calls her a liar, says she contradicts herself, and claims that she lied about taking legal action. He also says nothing inappropriate happened, so he wasn't looking into whether or not she was of age, because at that point, at least, nothing weird's going on. He also says that a video is coming out, which I, personally, am hype for, because that video may finally put all this to bed. Whether that makes Dream look good or bad, I just want to know the truth of what happened. I've been hearing about these allegations for, I want to say since 2020, maybe 2021. It's been 2 or 3 years, and I keep hearing whispers about it and rumors, and I see a video now and then, but like nothing definitive. And even now, I can't be definitive about it, so I just want to know, and hopefully he can put this to bed. He also got supportive tweets from people like Sapnap, the base 4chan king, who's decided to stream over at Kick despite the whining from the soy boy
I have no idea what Tom's on about.
Beta Tubbo, okay?
The majority of Sapnap's demographic is
fly out to, get his sucking on, and she's talking about it for some reason. And it's crazy because he never groomed me, but I sure as hell got his private Snapchat around the same.
This is just weird how this person came forward and they're like straight up of age, like well over age, and like literally outlined that they were never groomed, but like here they are.
surprising. That's all we've learned from her. And I guess previously she agreed to suck and all, but then he ghosted her, which, owned? You got owned! But the story doesn't stay boring here, okay, with just Dream's response. No. It doesn't stay with just Jay Sneed and Feed, okay? No, we get way more. So this furry person named Midas, actually, I don't even know if they're a furry, but they have like a dog, so we're calling them a furry. Entertainment purposes, made a tweet showing Dream's second response to grooming allegations versus his response to stealing an idea in Minecraft. And the point here is to show like, oh, well, Dream doesn't care about important things like serious issues. He just cares about Minecraft, right? That's the intention of the tweet, I guess. So Dreams,
I think their whole intention there was just to show that he cared more about that by writing more than he did with the other thing.
says, I learned my lesson. People on Twitter don't want to read a book. I also talked about it for 40 minutes on stream today and mentioned a more detailed video summary. Would you like me to make a documentary instead? Do you care about the truth or hit tweets? And then Dream further goes on to claim that this person is like a stalker who showed up to his meet and greet and then got kicked out by security.
Okay, this goes into a whole thing that we really don't need to care about because it doesn't come up again later.
Joke, by the way, okay, /J, that's meta irony right there. No, I was serious though, actually, there's no cap at all. I don't want to fucking smell someone in a wheelchair. I'm kidding, joking, meta irony.
This is still going on about the other thing.
Using his platform. Now, to be honest, I kind of hate everyone involved here. Like, Dream's definitely a weird person, as all YouTubers are. He's even weirder, I think, on average, but I have yet to see definitive proof of his evilness, so I'm sort of abstaining from really going in here because I just
There's a whole wheelchair arc that comes with that person's messages. So Dream basically says that they got kicked out of like a fan meetup. They reply back and say, oh, the one that I was just at, where like, and they kind of try to act like they weren't there to like meet persons that are celebrity types, and like from the sounds of it, that's obviously what the whole intention, like this was like a con type event. So it was obviously the intention behind everything. It was to go there and meet up with people like this. So, and then he's like, oh, I couldn't have been all the things that you're saying that I am because I was pushing someone in a wheelchair. And then dude in a wheelchair chimes in and says, yeah, he was pushing me. And I don't really understand how it applies.
Oh no. Meanwhile, the other side is using the term platform and words like power imbalance, and they're all like 17.
And before anybody asks, it wasn't Tonka Saw. And if you're saying, why the hell does that matter? We'll eventually get to that because I really do plan on doing a Tonka Saw thing.
Which, to be honest, just makes steam come out of my ears because I hate children and I hate Twitter. So I don't really know, like, am I supposed to be on these people's side? They can't even get their story straight. And if you're watching me, guys, you know the people we're discussing, okay? Lots of furries, lots of Minecraft stands, some other communities overlapping in there, and it's just not my cup of tea. It's not my swag. I'm on some other you know what I'm saying, Unk? You know. Yeah, you know. Yeah, you know. Yeah, you know. The amount of people spreading the intentional lie that I admitted to gooning someone is so sad. Hundreds of tweets spreading that complete lie for likes. It's so harmful to real victims. I did not goon anyone, and I've never said otherwise. Dream making a I love minors joke when you have serious grooming allegations against you is a different type of disgusting behavior, but not unexpected from him. Him saying, and I quote, this isn't drama, this is serious stuff with serious implications, then post this? Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, if the claims are real, like if these girls are telling the truth, and he did do something horrible, then it
So, and this goes back to the video that we saw at the beginning. I'm trying to think if there's any more connection.
Charges and posting proof, but
been harassed for almost a year. This is going in November 2023. So this brings up to the November point. Okay.
It could take days, and then went silent for a year and never did either while I waited and waited. Someone that less than a week before the accusation was liking and replying to my tweets positively, deleted
this
DMs
is where
and
he
called
kind of
people
like
doubting her
went
jealous
off.
that I didn't want them instead, admitted they considered lying about their age to try and DM me weeks before they turned 18. This one false accusation turned into Dream talk to kids. There's tons of accusations. Dream never denied it. Dream was exposed fiddling kids, and so much worse. All due to past parasocialness that, yes, I can be to blame for. I talked on stream about how I'm going to make a detailed video with logs, screenshots.
By the way, Dream has like a really parasocial relationship with his audience, like unhealthily parasocial. And by parasocial meaning that he's like almost directly one-to-one like friendships with his audience, which you know, I'm sure that's cool, especially like when you're a younger kid, like to have the access to somebody. Like it would have been cool a younger kid my age to like have access to like, oh, I don't know, like a Macaulay Culkin type or something like that. And yeah, Macaulay Culkin turned out awful now, but who knows? Maybe if I had had direct access to him and was able to build a parasocial life together, we could have both been into drugs.
And evidence and gave some bullet points, and it got completely clipped out of context and spread somehow as the lie that I admitted everything. He may not have sexted anyone, but grooming is just messaging someone underage, and he admitted she DM'd him. And then digging into my sex life or my relationship history with only people older than me is such a shit show, and I get it. I'm the cringe Minecraft guy that was fat, that makes bad music, that's from Florida and has said offensive things, that cheated, that's stubborn and an asshole and racist and homophobic, and doesn't manage his rabid fans, manipulates, etc. But don't let you thinking that I'm bad either way make you stomp all over real victims' future stories or devalue what grooming is to make sure I fit the definition.
This really stood with me in hindsight. This message, like, actually, I thought it was him, again, being, like, obtuse, hyperbolic, whatever you want to call it, and saying all this stuff. No, I think he actually genuinely believes that, like, people making false accusations like this does actually take away from it, which is a fantastic point of view to have, especially with now's times. That was awfully said. Current times.
Definition.
Sorry, I've had like most of that Bloody Mary, and that definitely had like probably 2-3 shots in it.
I know I'm not convincing anyone on Twitter that's made their mind up. Just feels right to share finally. Honestly, if my advice means literally anything, Dream, if you're up there in heaven and you can hear me, just stop tweeting. Make the video. In the end, Twitter is a cesspit of cancer for actual discourse. It doesn't mean anything.
Okay, so that's basically that video. I want to move kind of quickly through these ones because this just is establishing all the previous content. Allegations.
Before we get into his responses, though, let's look at the new allegations being brought against Dream. So first of all, we have this person saying, you were a victim of domestic violence, Dream? Was that before, during, or after you housed the abuser Justin Tyler Alfonso, also known as Manatreed, after he beat his 19-year-old girlfriend? Why did you let him...
I don't even know how this... Like, there's so many people, like, trying to silo him into, like, so many different freaking... You're an abuser, you're a groomer, you're this, you housed an abuser. It's like when, like, everybody was going to town on Colleen Ballinger, and they're like, and she did blackface. And it's like, she did way worse stuff. Why are we going backwards in our, like, pointing of fingers at people here?
Stay at this address, one that was confirmed to be yours. Now, this name Manatreed did ring a bell, but I was not sure who he was, so I actually had to look this up and figure out who this guy even is. Manatreed, Justin Tyler Alfonso? Is it? Hold on, is it Alfonso? Is it? That's a funny name. Hold on. It is Alfonso. What the F? He was a Minecraft YouTuber who was good friends with Dream, childhood friends actually, and he started making content with the Dream SMP a few years ago.
Manatreed? Wait, what? Stop!
His account started in 2021 and then quickly got 500,000 subscribers. And for a bit, the guy was actually blowing up thanks to these connections. A tweet of him saying he was joining the SMP got 200,000 likes at the peak of Dream's popularity in like 2021-ish. A lot of people thought Dream was him, but it was revealed he was his own guy eventually. He wasn't just the same person. People were going through his personal life, though, to try and figure out how he knew Dream, what his real name was, basically trying to dox the guy. Meanwhile, openly, he was just like a normie gamer making videos and streams. You wouldn't really think there was anything weird going on.
But a lot of like the coincidences were coincidences. Like a lot of like the people that thought the theory, like the theories a lot of people thought, like the fact that my profile was made on June, and what was it, the Ollie, that my account was made when the Ollie on Sapnap did the Ollie. Those were all coincidences. I had no idea. Like I did know that, I guess, that Dream made his account in June, but I didn't remember it when I made the account. You know what I mean? I didn't even really think it was even June. It was kind of June. But yeah.
I guess that's probably true when anybody does anything. And you're thinking about like the month you're doing it in.
But it wouldn't be smooth sailing forever. Eventually, the guy got doxxed, I guess, and people looked through his criminal record to find that he was a real-life friend of Dream who had a battery charge against him and a restraining order against him from a year before he came to the Dream SMP. Allegedly, this is all true, according to Twitter. The guy was called a threat to society by the Twitter user who found this, and then claimed the dude was homeless before Dream gave him shelter when he needed it. And around the time that this all comes out, he gets removed from the SMP. Now, I don't know how accurate this information is. For example, I don't know how well Dream knew this guy when he like reconnected with him in adulthood.
And I know we get into that later on. I just want to see. Okay, there's still some more allegation stuff.
For that in his response video when that comes out, but for now that remains to be seen. But it is interesting that someone brought this up because I'd never even heard this. For another update, you guys may remember OxyClean, who to my knowledge is the first Dream accuser. To recap this and refresh your memory, the story goes that a girl going by OxyClean on Twitter came out about her experience with Dream the day after he revealed his face to his audience. He hates his fans? Well, he loved 17-year-old me. None of it is appropriate for a fan and an influencer to be this close. Well, it could be appropriate if you were an adult or if he wasn't like super above your age. In that case, it is appropriate and nobody should care. But, you know, moving on. Especially since I was 17 and still in school and he knew that, it crosses the line when he's sending me his huge house and inviting me. The worst flirt I recall was on Snapchat, and obviously those delete. If you don't believe someone but have no proof to prove them wrong, then keep it to yourself. I mean, if you're making a public accusation with very little proof, you're gonna have people questioning it. This isn't your personal friend group. You're accusing a famous person with millions of eyes on him of being a pedophile. People will ask for proof. This is such a childish mindset. This is the strongest evidence I've seen that this girl was groomed because she's so stupid and childish. She says that he showed his face to her when she was a minor. She shows a few screenshots that look like cringy flirting. I haven't seen any proof of illicit material exchanged at all in these DMs, and she didn't really imply that that happened. It's all just kind of cringy flirting, and I haven't seen any proof that he invited her to his house or anything like that. Now, to be clear, Dream and OxyClean definitely messaged. They definitely had some interactions, but as far as if he did anything wrong, I just don't know. I would
this whole invited house thing too, like, basically it really kind of weirds me out, by the way. Like, so oh, come over to my house. Do you want to know the easiest way to, like, combat that? Ready? Focus. No. No, I'm not going to come over. No, I'm not going to take a flight. No, I'm not going to do that. Why? Because I'm not. Like, you literally could just use the 2-year-old argument and be like, no. I don't understand the world pressure. Like, what is he going to do? If he goes forth and tries to ruin your name and your career and your attitude, that'll look awful against him. Let him do it. Let him try and do it. He will look awful and he will be paying you.
probably say he didn't. A lot of people will point to like the power imbalance, and to be clear, power imbalances do exist, but that only really matters if there's some kind of abuse going on in that power imbalance, right? So like someone who's an adult who's messaging, let's say, you know, a young person, right? Let's say a 22-year-old is messaging a 15-year-old, right? Obviously the 22-year-old has power over the 15-year-old because of their life experience, their age, their agency, and a 15-year-old, we legally would say can't even consent to someone who is 22, right? We would say societally that's very frowned upon. But the existence of a power imbalance only matters if there's an abuse of that power. With a 15-year-old and a 22-year-old, that abuse is inherent and there's no way around it. With someone who's 19 and someone who's 17, I mean, just because the guy's a famous YouTuber doesn't mean they can't sext, right? From what I can tell, Dream may have known her age, and apparently he didn't see it as an issue, and according to him, there was no pressure going on whatsoever. Lanza had a pretty good quote from his video about that, which I played last video, but I'll play it here again.
It's flirty and it's cringe, but it isn't nothing to hold against either person as something with malicious intent. And implying other things like the 13 or 15-year-old doesn't make your claim look any good without any hard proof.
So the most recent update here is like this girl is back on Twitter, and when people asked her for proof, she said, "I'm not here to fully prove my experience that I know happened." Well, if you're making a public accusation and don't want to provide proof, then just fuck off. You're cringe, unbased, you have no swag, and you're being extremely irresponsible. I think I'm probably going to write this accusation off entirely at this point unless something huge changes, because this person is not even willing to provide any proof and apparently doesn't feel burdened to provide proof whatsoever. So go away. I don't care about you anymore. You're on the bottom of my boot. Unless you bring something good to the table, in which case I'll remove you off the boot, put you on the desk, and dry you off and take you seriously. I don't know if that's going to happen though. I love energy drinks, which is why I'm proud to be sponsored.
Okay. We don't care about your Keemstar sponsorship. Unless you're bringing out cotton candy flavor, in which case I'm just going to sign up just because. I do want to touch on something really quick that I didn't prepare. I know, surprise. I thought this was kind of funny. We're not going to watch these videos, but so Optimus, another creator, kind of does like kind of shorter forms of the video essay, kind of like Lanza, Turkey Time, and all that. It does really, really, really good content. I was watching this video, and this was actually in my playlist.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the
Stop it. I said stop. Anyway, funny thing about this video, more. It came out on December 19th, 2023. And he, like, I kind of want to get into it. Where is it?
Or it is Optimus, right? You know, you don't want him to rush out this video, right? And it'd be
Right
garbage,
here.
and he doesn't actually defend himself, and you know it's not good. He needs some time to make a cohesive and coherent response, Optimus. Yeah, that's true, but once again, like, how fucking long does he need? You know, is he, like, compiling, like, the lost footages from the catacombs or something, you know what I mean? Like, is he finding the fucking Dragon Balls and then wishing to Shenron that he can fucking get a video to disprove the allegations? Like, is he going out in the fucking cobalt mines out in the middle of nowhere or whatever and building his hard drive or whatever by hand? Like, where is all this proof, bro? Where is all this evidence when there's constantly new allegations coming out? Like, I mean, does he think he can't drop like a fucking two-parter or something, man? Like, I hate to even have to suggest that, hey, you gotta drop the two-parter about why you're not a groomer, but like, dude, there's so many fucking allegations at this point, and, you know, people are already desperate now for a response to the allegations before the last allegations that came out, and we still don't even have answers from this guy about those, right? He's just been kind of shrugging them off and just, oh,
I know I'm being silent here, but there's a whole reason to this.
well, I'll have a video out on that someday. It's like, bro, every week there's new allegations. And keep in mind, right, not all of the allegations that have been made against Dream are some 1,000,000% bulletproof accusation. It's not like an EDP 445 situation, right, where like they fucking
no, Voldemort
caught the dude on video trying to meet up with a kid or something. But that's the thing, like, all these people who are making allegations and who are like constantly coming and saying, hey, Dream is a groomer, right? Whether they're telling the truth or not, they're at least coming with evidence. They're at least trying to use proof to convince people about what's being said. And then when you look at Dream and all of the best he can do is make fucking 40 different tweets about something and then somehow magically, mysteriously
Okay, that kind of gives you the context, I think, pretty good. Yeah, within a couple hours, there was the video, this video. Yeah, look at that, December 19th. You want to talk about the last guy to the buffet? It was Optimus. This is literally the guy that sold his house, or bought a brand new, you know, $4 million home on December of 2007. Like, that's Optimus's luck right here with this.
Sponsored by the best guys in the game.
Oh, I don't think I want to listen to your sponsorship time.
So the next thing up on the docket is from an account called Burner22. Dream at Dream.
Oh, this is
/
important.
Dream was taken knowingly and willingly received explicit images and sexted a 16/17-year-old in 2019 when he was 20. He has a history of being in a.
Okay, I know I'm gonna do like the thing you're not supposed to do here, but I obviously already know this stuff. I watched this. This is important contextually, but I'm like out of drink. So I'm gonna go refill my drink, and while I refill the drink, I'm just gonna let this play. It shouldn't be that long. It should be maybe a couple minutes.
Appropriate with minors going back years. This man is a gooner. I have a few screenshots. One of them is a DM with the user censored, and the other person is called Chia Seeds. And someone here says she's 17. And then there's like a screenshot of Twitter where someone named Jamie says, "Here you go, I guess." And the video has a caption saying, "F yes, your biddies are so nice. What the freak?" They then went on to post the actual moaning video where you can hear like, I guess supposedly Dream moaning. It sounds like Dream. At the time, it was hard for me to tell if it was even him. I'm not going to play it here for obvious reasons, but everyone was calling this definitive dead to rights proof that Dream is a foul, scummy person. When in reality, there was no proof at the time that it was him, no proof of the age of the other person, no idea what age Dream was concretely, and no idea of if he knew their age or not. There's no proof of any of this. And yet the hate train was calling him a file, basically, because that's how the internet works. Dream is cringe, therefore he's guilty of everything. Welcome to Twitter or something, I don't know. Jordan Peterson was right, I guess. Explain what you did with Jamie when she was 16 and 17 and you were 20. Why'd you goon Janie in 2019? The account the video had been sent to was suspended a while back, and it seems Jamie left the internet and privated her accounts back in 2020. The conversation was between two of Dream's friends, where one says Dream continued to talk to them and admitted to sexting Jamie. And once again with these messages, this could be Dream's friends, it could not be. I have no idea who these people even are. I don't know if this is their real accounts. So far, literally all of this could be faked. This burner account claimed to have contacted the police about this, who I'm sure will be making this their top priority given the absolute abundance of evidence that we've seen. Due to false information and claims about the people running this account, I feel the need to give clarity to everything. There are two people behind this account. Neither of them are the person Dream has publicly slandered and caused a hate riot against. A hate riot, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this account also was saying that some of their evidence is stuff they don't want to show because it contains child exploitation material. That could be real. Maybe it is real, but I don't know that. Why should everyone just believe that right off the bat? Could they not just be lying about that? You guys not see why I'm so black-pilled on these allegations? Basically no proof in every case against Dream, and the people making the allegations apparently feel no burden to prove anything to anyone other than themselves. And now a bunch of children are claiming Dream admitted to messaging a child. But if Dream was like 19 and the person was 17, once again, like what exactly is the issue? I don't see it, bros. Now Dream did seem to confirm that the moaning video was actually him when he said this. They were in an awkward and weird relationship with my ex for a while, and now we're trying to ride the internet hate wave to hit me while I'm down. I made the mistake of being intimate with this completely above age friend years ago, and I haven't talked to them in years. And like here he is denying that he groomed this person. How could this be him admitting it? He's denying it. Come on guys, get with it. Your brains are literally falling out of your fucking ears. Now he could be lying, but we don't know that. You don't know that. So zip your mouth and let's wait until more information comes out. With the allegations we have now, we don't have enough proof to say anything.
Hopefully that
now
wasn't
another
too
account
bad.
called Layla was accusing.
Oh, Layla. Good. All right, so you guys probably saw all the Burner 22 stuff there. I apologize. That was my Hassan moment. But yeah, I'm definitely good now. I didn't taste that either, so here's the hoping it's good.
Dream as well, apparently, and saying he was a gooner, and they straight up falsely accused him, and then admitted it, which Keemstar posted onto his account.
That you guys are saying I'm a bad person, because I already know that I'm a bad person. I know that I'm a horrible, horrible, nasty person, but I don't care. I've accepted I'm a horrible person, and I'm just riding this fame out until it stops, because it eventually will stop, so I'm just taking the most out of it. So yeah, call me a horrible person. I do not give a single frick. Grr. And I'm not a
This person sounds 12.
Dream stan, bro. I just like drama. Jesus Christ.
I wish the worst for this person, genuinely. Fucking freaks like this are why allegations get so muddy and hard to cover. And it's hard to understand what actually happened. You know, this person is doing a disservice to the world. Truly. I hope they slip on a banana peel. So with all of that out of the way, here is Dream's response on his public account. Working on a video responding to everything going on, and it's my top priority as it's incredibly serious. Dream did what? I was assaulted and lied about by a drunk voice actor I had just met, and then a burner account posted a secondhand claim telling stories for a victim that doesn't agree or even know what's going on. This is people's lives. I'm begging you to listen to what I have to say and watch my video when it's out. It's not this week's joke. It's not just haha Minecraft YouTuber is a pedo or haha cringe speedrun guy got beat up by Gumball. It's incredibly serious and impacts so many lives. My friends, my family, my employees, and all actual victims of abuse, physical and sexual. This is terrible and not haha Dream moan audio just dropped. And by the way, that moan audio is probably revenge porn. As a prior victim of domestic violence and someone who was just assaulted, seeing essentially unsubstantiated revenge porn of me being spread as proof I diddle kids and people championing someone that assaulted me and a random Uber driver has really impacted my mental state. It's incredibly difficult for me to have a level-headed, thoughtful response given the circumstances, but I'm working on a video and will be as gracious as I can towards everyone.
Yeah, so like this, what actually interested me in all of this, again, I'm not a Minecraft gamer in any way, shape, or form. I know the game. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool in a couple of different ways, but I'm not going to get into all nerdy stuff. I don't like Dream, but I agree with this statement. This is a pretty solid statement. But the whole thing that really got me interested was the whole thing with this Gumball guy, because I saw the video and I was like, dude, this guy is off the freaking rails. And honestly, I feel like that is, although I will say that it was funny that Dream was fighting with an unhinged voice actor from a show my kids watch. Oh, that's awesome.
Concerned, even if I'm incredibly frustrated. And yeah, I mean, it makes sense. He's having a hard time.
Yeah, like I very, 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 very tangentially knew who this guy was. Like, I forget what thing I knew him from, and I'm like, oh, okay. But they're like Gumball and all this. I'm like, I have no idea who this is. Because I don't have kids myself, but I get the nieces and nephews, and they're either like super young or they're older. And so the older ones kind of tend to hang out with me more because they're into all the stuff that I do. So, which I found out they actually watch my stream. So if you're out there, hey guys. But yeah, back to the pedo.
Getting his head on straight, considering the entire internet like is either making fun of him or calling him a groomer. Which, I mean, you can make fun of him, but these memes are kind of playing into these allegations at this point, and it's kind of just fueling into this giant tornado of cancer that's going on around Dream. He said, "I'm not a P-word, I didn't goon anyone, and what's being spread in this particular instance is black and white, and I will lay everything out in my video, including this."
I'm gonna go off on another tangent really quick. I hate that we have to censor words that, like, in a court case are totally freaking fine. Like, why do we allow, like, TOS and stuff like that to get to this point? Like, to where, and I understand it's got to deal with ads and people who are getting ad revenue and all that. You know, you obviously don't want to be, but I feel like it makes us regress as a society when we cannot use words that are totally, like, I totally, like, I'm trying to think of the word. Oh, I'm seeing words and not able to use the word I want. Words and descriptive adjectives. There we go. Like adjectives and things that we are able to use in a court of law, like grooming, like pedo and all that. Like we've gone to the point to, like, now we have to, like, say PDF file and goomer and, like, all these, like, weird, like, I don't know how to muddled terms that we have to use just so that you can still cover information that's viable and newsworthy, but you can't, like, see these words, otherwise you lose out on money from ad revenue. Meanwhile, you have all these news networks and stuff, they're still freaking saying it. Don't even get me started on the whole TikTok thing, by the way. I still think it's outrageous that, like, look at how many songs and how many sounds and stuff get used on TikTok, and there are so many creators that have built, like, multi-million subscriber, like, platforms, and they're using freaking copywritten music. But, you know, here, if I use 10 seconds of a copywritten song, I get claimed.
Situation with me being assaulted and other situations that are incredibly serious. Just a temporary statement before my video. Please withhold judgment. And I am attempting to withhold it. I'm trying to do my due diligence, okay? I'm a good guy.
Or am I?
Now, this is an interesting response, and I would agree that if Dream is innocent, then whoever posted that video is a horrible person for...
I think this covers the totality of the Dream allegations. So we've got the Gumball situation, you got the Burner 22 account, the Amanda situation, OxyClean, and I think that's really Burner 22, OxyClean, and Amanda. I think there's 3 allegations, like primary allegations, and then there's the whole Gumball situation. The Mana Tree guy, he's gonna come up with the video, and we're gonna jump into that video now. But Mana Tree, and then we're going to get into some stuff that I didn't care for with Dream's video. And I'm going to say why, and this is just coming from purely a position of experience and inexperience. You know what? Dream might know more as far as putting a video together than I do. I'm not going to doubt that, but I will say I feel like I've got some more valid experience as far as life experience on why I would do things a bit differently than how he did them here. So I'm going to play the intro and then I'm going to stop it and then we're going to look at the video and dissect it a little bit.
In this video, I'm going to be very vulnerable, open, and honest. I go into my past, I go into controversies, and I also debunk very serious lies about me, including by involving the police, legal teams, and extensive research. It will get uncomfortable.
I will say, right off the bat, this is a gold standard. I would say this and Quite's video should be held up as, like, gold standards of how you reply to these types of things when you're totally innocent and when you have like the ability to show full context.
Get into details of my life that you probably don't want to hear, and I don't particularly want to share either, but it feels necessary given the circumstances, and honesty and truth is my top priority. As you guys have probably noticed, I took a long break from YouTube, and since the face reveal I've hardly really uploaded. And I've really focused on other things and separated myself from a lot of the stuff I was doing before. You may think that this was due to the hate from the face reveal, or for other reasons, but really there was something else that happened right after the face reveal, and it really made me step back from what I was doing.
Okay, so first off the bat, I want to say with this intro, I feel like it would have gone a lot farther for me as an adult. If to have you just on camera, let me see your face and talk to me and just walk me through this. I feel like that would have drugged me in a little bit better. And I feel like it would have drove home the point that this is affecting a person. There's a person behind this mask. There's many people behind this mask in that there's a team.
And have a lot less passion. If you've been on the internet recently, you've probably heard or seen some pretty crazy stuff about me. Whether it's the voice actor of Gumball attacking me or accusations against me regarding grooming, you've probably heard a lot of pretty crazy stuff. I thought it's extremely important for me to make this video and provide as much information as I can. And I just want to right off the bat state as clearly as I can that these allegations are not true. I plan on going to extreme detail to prove that in this video. And to all the people that are spreading lies, fabricating stories, and making false accusations for fun or because they think it's funny,
I don't care. I've accepted I'm a horrible person.
this is not funny. This is not a joke. This is people's lives, ranging from my own, my family, my employees, to actual victims that stories won't be heard or believed in the future because of this. I understand that some things in this video are much more important than others, so I split this video up into chapters, and you can skip to and watch the parts that are most important to you. I will say that everything in this video is very relevant. I think they're all vital topics to include because they help clear up my character. So yeah, the video has chapters, and if you want to skip around, there's a pinned comment. And again, I realize that nothing in this video is as important as me talking about serious allegations, so I've made it really easy to skip ahead to whatever is most important to you. Just because there's other stuff doesn't mean anything is less important. Monetization on this video is on, but every dollar will go to a charity that's linked in the description. Otherwise, I want to start with the biggest lie I have ever told.
Okay, so we're gonna do that. All right, so here's the chapters that we're gonna look at first. I think that's gonna be the easiest way to kind of like break down what problems I have with this video. So we just listened to the intro, first minute and a half. What is the first things that he kind of accomplishes in this third? So we go from the face leak photo, okay, speed running, cheating at speed running, housing an abuser. I would say this is an important thing. Posting thirst traps. Why would a grown man use Snapchat? I don't think was technically necessary, but maybe. I mean, it goes into explaining other things later on. Dream is weird. Dream posts weird pictures, and it's almost 20 minutes into the video before you get into the allegations thing. If it were me, and again, it's hindsight's 2020. I can look at this with rose-colored glasses. Whatever saying you want to use here. I would have taken probably that first third of crap and put it at the end. And prioritized addressing the most important thing first. That's my biggest criticism with this video. Other than that, I don't like that he didn't have... I mean, this is getting nitpicky here. So, Joyful Heart is the foundation that he's donating to. I just want to see kind of what they cover... So this is for SA victims. Fantastic thing. I think if you had this intention of using this charity to begin with, it would have been a little more personalized to have it mentioned. Say, hey, look, I understand I've monetized this video, but all the proceeds generated from it is going to be going to the Joyful Heart Foundation. They're advocates for SA, DV, and CA people, and just something like that. Other than just saying link down in the description, it kind of came off a little bit removed. Really, that's my two biggest concerns, and probably my only two concerns about this. Honestly, I feel like he probably could have taken that other third and put it in a part 2 video or a a different video and maybe gone more in depth on stuff if he wanted to, and it would have been a little nicer broken out for the people that, oh god, it sounds awful to say, but the people that are here for the essay PDF file allegations, and then the people that are interested in finding out more about you when it comes to maybe the other scandals. Because, you know, look, you touched on the cheating scandal. That to me, it's maybe personally a big deal to him, but I would say in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, really, if you're going to touch on that, might as well go on touching on, you know, the war cry situation that happened where you ended up having to apologize for using like a Native American sounds. I don't even know how to explain. Oh god, sorry. Alcohol is kicking in. I'm yawning. So you're probably going to see a lot more yawning, and I apologize in advance. Anyway, I really need to move the camera over here, I feel like. I look this way more than I look this way. But yeah, I feel like he could have put all that stuff into a different video. And just made it more broken out. He could, you know, so that we could hear about like different things and why he responded. Maybe, hey, maybe even follow up and say that like you've got a changed perspective. I do feel like the gumball stuff is applicable for this video, and where he positioned it is good. Realistically, if we're gonna go through it, this is basically the first allegation here, and then it goes into the Amanda allegation, and that is covered pretty much here, and then kind of the mayhem, but really this is its own thing with the gumball situation. This again, I feel like could have followed up your intro. As far as like the doxing is serious, I think you had fantastic takes there, but just could have been at a bit better spot. The moaning stuff, which is ridiculous. By the way, spoilers, if it breaks your heart to find out that the moaning allegations are fake, let me tell you something about screaming goats. You know all the videos you guys have found out there on the interwebs of screaming goats? And just, I'm gonna look up. So we're all on the same page here. Not scream, okay. Okay, just so we all know, this is what we're talking about. Yeah. Where is it? Here, this one. So yeah, you guys know how that sounds? By the way, I'm gonna blow your mind. That's not the goat screaming. It's a movie maker sound from Apple. Fun fact for the day. There you go. But yeah, so the moaning allegations are fake. This was probably the most interesting, was the statement from the victim. I don't know if I really dig all the catchy titles, by the way, you used for things. Like, you're probably trying to bring some levity to a situation that's been just, like, personally, like, driven you into the ground. But he does a fantastic, effort. God. I apologize. He does a fantastic effort of, like, posting links to stuff and all that. There's even some other things here that I don't think are totally mentioned. I think he did a fine job at censoring out inappropriate language, but I do agree. Like, I kind of almost want to say there's, like, court speak, they're legalese, so to speak, that stuff should be allowed in these videos without censorship. Especially if you're going to have people sit there and make accusations, and these accusations can be lead to life ruination in a lot of cases. I think you should be at least able to defend yourself using the right words. Yeah, I think that's everything. So with that, we're going to jump in and we're going to go to the housing and abuser.
The next thing I'm going to talk about is a pretty big one that you might not have heard about, but it's a pretty important one. Manatreed. Now, if you don't know who Manatreed is a content creator that I added to my server, the Dream SMP, a couple years ago. They were anonymous like me, and they had a very short career. There was a thread made about Manatreed saying that they doxed him and that he was an IRL friend of mine, had been charged with domestic violence, and that I was trying to hide it. Manatreed was removed from the SMP by me, all of his accounts were deleted, and I made a statement talking about how I don't support domestic violence, I wasn't aware of any domestic violence, and that due to how complicated the situation was, I decided to remove Manatreed from the SMP. I also strongly alluded to the fact that the doxed information was incorrect. Everything I just said was...
I think that this is going to become an important thing for a lot of creators down the road. The more and more time progresses. I just I feel like it's becoming more and more and more important for... I'm trying to think of how to say this. For people who are public facing, when you align yourself with a group to be doing background checks, I don't think that those background checks should be public. But I think that creators, especially group creators, specifically, like, I think of the whole Smash situation, like, it would be beneficial, and in that case, there would have been no record there. It would be beneficial in a lot of cases for these people to start doing background checks. There's basically, you need to start viewing your YouTube business, even if it's involving people you like, friendly with, and all that. You have to, unfortunately, put your business first, and in that case, put yourself first, and that means that you're going to have to protect and insulate yourself, and the only way you can protect and insulate yourself is to be doing background checks and things like that. That's my part.
Was true, except for the fact that Manatreed was my childhood best friend. I came up with the name Manatreed, I made the accounts, I grew up with him, his grandparents were like my grandparents, he was like family to me. The criticism I get to this day related to this is that I intentionally housed and hid an abuser. Because Manatreed was...
This is awful, by the way. The fact that, like, this was a good friend to this guy. And I want to say, like, he betrayed him to some extent, but he didn't even really betray him. It's just that he did these actions, and so in doing so, because Dream has to put precedence over his business, he had to part ways with this guy.
Faceless and anonymous like me, people said that it was planned deliberately in order to hide a domestic violence charge. This is not true. In late 2020, he had a lot of problems. He was struggling with homelessness, had been in multiple recent car accidents. I knew I could help him, so I did. I offered him a place to stay, I paid for his groceries and gas for a while, and eventually I came up with the idea to add him to my server. He was my childhood friend, I trusted him, and he wasn't a risk. I was anonymous, so obviously if I wanted to play games with him, his identity couldn't be known, or it would leak my identity. Whenever the thread first came out saying that Manatreed abused his girlfriend, I responded emotionally, calling people gullible, because I didn't believe that someone I had known for so long and grew up with could do anything like that. And at the time, although no one knew, he lived with me in Sapnap, so it seemed crazy that...
And I will say this, it's really hard, like, retrospectively to, like, have something like this come out. And this is major in the scale of what it's involving. It's obviously involving somebody abuse another individual. I think I've said in, like, interviews that I've done, or, like, I don't know, learn more about me type streams, AMAs, that I've done with a couple people, that, like, I knew somebody that became a spree killer, and I could tell you that I really looked retrospectively at that and, like, hindsight of, like, how did I miss this? And there was nothing that I missed. I did not, Teddy. I'll leave that to your discretion. If you think it's a good idea, let me know. But yeah, I knew somebody that became, like, a spree killer and did awful acts. And just before they did these awful acts, this time of year, they gave me a jacket, like a Carhartt jacket for Christmas. Like, it's confounding. I did make Jim a mod though, Teddy. So now you guys can duel. No, you really can never know what a person's thinking. Yes. Oh man. Sorry, getting off on a tangent. But yeah, I think it's important. I think that, yeah, this is probably hurting him more or almost as badly as the allegations were, because so lose a friend in that manner, but then to have it be so public and everything else.
That he could somehow hide it from us. I jumped to the gun and reacted emotionally. Only later did I properly look into everything, and I apologize. After I confronted Manatreed in real life, he claimed that he wasn't an abuser, that he had just had an altercation with another guy, and that his ex-girlfriend got in the middle of it. He claimed that
you're so awful.
He never hit her, that he had just caught her cheating and was fighting the guy that she was cheating with, that the cops got called, and that he got arrested. This is just what he said. This altercation would have taken place around a year before he moved in with us, and I had no knowledge of it. People thought that domestic violence took place when he lived with us because my address was on a court document of his, but that was far after, when he was on probation and had to tell the court where he currently lived. He also lied to us and told us that he was on probation for smoking weed in order to not have us question anything suspicious related to it. Even though he claimed to me that he wasn't abusive to anyone, I couldn't just take him for his word, and so I did research myself. I reached out to his ex-girlfriend and talked to her about it all. She wouldn't really say that much. She said to give Manatreed the best wishes for his future, and that his mistakes were behind her, and that she just wanted to be left alone online. I don't want to push her for information, so because of that, I didn't feel comfortable having Manatreed on the Dream SMP anymore. I didn't have full confidence that he was being honest with me because he had already lied to me.
Oh my god, I totally just had to look up, by the way. I had no idea that survival multiplayer is what SMP stands for. That's how detached I am from this. Oh my god, Teddy.
And I was also still faceless and really didn't want to have to dox myself to explain the situation. I decided the best idea would just be to remove him from the server. I had created all of the accounts, so I completely shut them down and removed his access. That meant that there was absolutely no risk that, even if he was lying, he would ever cause future harm because of me. Unfortunately, this wasn't a cut and dry situation. This was one of my childhood best friends that had always treated me with kindness and had lied to me in Sapnet. And unfortunately, due to all of this, I have no contact with him and lost someone that was like family to me. I'll never know the exact truth behind everything. The person that I knew was kind, generous, and compassionate, and I never would have added him to the server if I thought
This
he
is
was
probably
anything
the
otherwise.
saddest
But what I
to
do know
me.
is that, other than my initial crude response, I stand by my actions. I think that I navigated a really complex situation the best that I could. I got rid of any risk, supported a victim, made it clear that I didn't support domestic violence, even to the detriment of one of my oldest friendships. I completely understand people that don't know my side of this situation, assuming that this makes me a liar, and that it's obvious that I was covering up wrongdoing. I even had creators that thought this until they talked to me about it. It's not unreasonable at all, and that's why I figured I had to talk about it in this video, even if it is personal and uncomfortable. Before I jump into the most important things I'm going to address, I want to talk about something that's come up a lot due to these allegations, and something that's commonly said to give credibility to me being a bad or weird person. I'm going to play a clip from Moist Critical, who talked about the allegations pretty neutrally, to his credit. But while talking about them, he said this.
Dream's audience has always been on the younger side of things, and yet Dream constantly engages with them in very inappropriate ways, such as like posting thirst traps. He does post thirst traps, even knowing that his fans are children. So when these claims come out, I think a lot of people start to take them at face value because they're like,
Teddy, you realize what we're going over content-wise? I'm looking over and reading this chat.
oh, that sounds like the Dream that I know. You know, this sounds like something Dream might do, so it's probably true. Even though right now a lot of the evidence backing it up isn't the strongest.
Now, before I talk about this, I just want to ask that if you're watching this and you share the same opinion, try and give me the benefit of doubt. Genuinely listen to what I have to say and discard your preconceived biases. Because yeah, if you think someone's creepy and then they're accused of being a creep, it clearly changes how you think. So I'm going to break down multiple things that Charlie said because I respect him. I respect his opinion. I think he's a super reasonable guy, and
Thank you, Teddy. At least you're being respectful now. I didn't want to have to bust out the educational videos again.
think he's an awesome content creator. One of the things that he said,
You know, going over your past content.
is that I post creepy pictures and thirst traps.
He does post thirst traps.
That's the first thing I'm going to talk about. Uniquely, because I didn't reveal my face until last year, I can actually
I feel like this is we're skipping this. Oh, I mean, why would a grown man use Snapchat? Okay, after all this stuff, maybe we'll do some levity and go back and visit a couple things. Let's go to this.
really important stuff. Over the last year and a half, there's been a bunch of really serious allegations made
Can I start with, like, he notes that it's the important stuff, and he puts it this far into the video
against me.
Like,
Some of them
it
were
just
quickly
baffles me,
disproved,
sorry.
others admitted they were lying, but there's still some that I'm going to address in this video. The first allegation made against me was pretty quickly discarded. It was an allegation of flirting and had some inconsistencies. I'm still taking it seriously though and don't want to overlook anything, so I'm going to talk about it now. The first ever allegations against me that were spread pretty far were made the day after my face reveal, on October 3rd, 2022. A girl named Anastasia tweeted out, "He's only face revealing because he's scared that I'll do it first." And then she followed it up by tweeting, "I'm too tired / real life struggling to get involved, but the YouTuber trending right now already face revealed to me years ago when he was flirting with me when I was a minor." Obviously, because of my face reveal, it took off, pointing out inconsistencies, asking questions, and so on. I didn't have any inappropriate contact with this person. I didn't have any sexual contact with this person. I hardly even remember who this person is at all. And the only messages I could even find with this person were friendly Twitter DMs. And even in those Twitter DMs, I mentioned that they had 18 in their bio, which they contradict. I definitely didn't face reveal to them. That's an obvious lie. Almost nobody knew what I looked like at all before my face reveal. Not even most of my best friends that had known me my entire life, let alone someone I don't even remember talking to at all. She posted a screenshot of some text.
I'm sorry, that's a little bit of a wicked burn, I feel like.
And claimed that they were from me. She showed a screenshot of my TikTok being from your contacts to try and prove that the texts were from me, which people quickly pointed out isn't possible because I have a Google Voice number hooked up to my TikTok, which isn't iMessage like the text. And again, she never claimed any sexual misconduct. She never claimed anything.
I'm playing this at normal speed, but just like that gets brushed over really quick there. And I feel like that was a good point to drive home. I have iMessage. They were green text. Like, I feel like that's a good, easy to drive home point. I don't know.
Thing related to nudity or sexting. This was also in early 2020, and she had 18 in her.
Or sorry, I meant to inverse that. I am hooked up to an external number through Google, and so therefore my number would show up as green text, not an iMessage.
Her bio with everything and all the inconsistencies. Wasn't taken that seriously, but it's still worth noting because people still somehow say this is one of 3 victims of mine. So yeah, before talking about the next allegation, I just want to address something that I think is pretty important. I see some people say, why respond to fans at all? Or
okay, this gets off into another topic, and I feel like he really expressed a lot of brevity. This one.
Important thing. Now, the second allegation is what I'm going to talk about in extreme detail. Second allegation came out soon after the first.
It's important.
And said that
this is like the meat and potatoes of this video, and we're like a little over a third of the way in.
First allegation was why they were sharing their story. It was from a girl that claimed that when she was 17, we inappropriately messaged. This did not happen. Let's get into the details. On September 23rd, 2020, Amanda messaged me from her personal Instagram account, sending a message that was clearly a fan message. She thanked me for saving her life, and I replied to this message. In September of 2020, I was a lot smaller than I am now, so I got a lot less DMs, and I was much more active in like the fan communities and replying to people. And all I replied was,
it is insane to think about in hindsight, like how much he blew up over a very short period of time. Like, I don't know. I think back to like, there's so many people that blow up, and it's kind of like they get that superstar rise and fall. Dreams actually, I think he's on that like PewDiePie, Markiplier kind of trend where he's going to be around for a while. Love him or hate him, he's going to be around for a while, I think. I think he's got a good grasp as far as like how to handle YouTube, especially when it comes to this stuff. Twitter, he probably could use a little bit better on. I'm sure he has PR people that are helping him with all this. I am without a doubt that he has a legal team that helped him with this, because there are so many things that he gets into later with this that I was like actually blown away, because only with a YouTuber of his caliber, of his level, of his income source, could you get the information that you're getting.
Oh, thank you for the kind words. And then I also replied, glad to make you smile, after she followed up with the message. I put a transcript of every Instagram message that I've ever sent her, linked in the description. It might not be every message that she sent me, because there's proof that she deleted Instagram messages to me. An old TikTok of hers has messages from me that wasn't in her post with the accusation.
This was kind of clever, and I didn't even think of this. Because he's now taking, he's doing kind of like what I did with the whole Van Luke thing. And he's, Van Luke Xylee thing. And he's lining up messages that are shown in this video with the message log data that he provides.
When she showed our messages, but my transcript tried to include those and piece it together. But again, it might not be all of them, because I don't know what she deleted. I only know what she deleted from the thing she accidentally showed in her old TikTok of the deleted messages. Amanda, on the other hand, how are you doing, Dream? September 25th, the next day I replied, I'm good, thank you. How are you? Amanda, the same day, replied, I'm doing okay, could be better, could be worse, thank you for asking. Amanda replied, how's your kitty doing? I love cats. I replied and said she's doing amazing. September 28th.
Watch the time jumps on these. That's kind of important, as well as the context. Don't pay much attention. Like, don't get wrapped up in what's being said. Watch the big important takeaways with this was the timeline and the context.
So 3 days later, Amanda said, Dream, I need some advice. I'm trying to become a small streamer on Twitch, but not a single...
This was the first thing that kind of tipped me off. That, like, what kind of individual you're dealing with here. Read this message. But basically, they're kind of asking... I'm trying to become a small streamer on Twitch, but not a single person joins my streams. How do I get an audience? And then watch the next message.
Single person joins my streams. How do I get an audience? October 2nd, so a few days later, I replied and said, try and play with your friends maybe? Post clips to Reddit and stuff. And then she replied and said, okay, thank you, with a heart. The next day she messaged me again and said, Dream, would you ever consider playing Among Us with me? XD. I guess this was during the Among Us craze.
She's trying to like pull Dream in on her stream and basically get it so like, I'm gaming with Dream, so now I'm a cool streamer, so please subscribe to me so I can do this as my primary income source. Oh no. What did you do, Teddy?
We're still in 2020. October 5th, 2020. I replied, maybe, heart. Amanda said, LL, I'll take the maybe. That would be sick. I didn't reply. This is a month and a little bit later. Amanda said, hi, Dream.
So, I want to go back through that real quick.
And then she sent another message that was deleted October 5th, 2020. I replied, maybe, heart. Amanda said, LL, I'll take the maybe. That would be sick. I didn't reply. This is a month and a little bit later.
So obviously, like, look, if you want to be friends, he's willing to be friends with you. Like, it's already cool. It's got to be... If you were intelligent about what you were trying to gain from this friendship, and I don't think you should go into a friendship looking to gain anything, but say you're, you know, just in it for you. If you're looking to gain something, you would have gotten and gained a lot more by building up a friendship with this guy over time, and then being like, oh, hey, I've been streaming for a little bit. Do you have any suggestions? And then let time go by. Let time go by maybe more than a day, more than a week. Like, take his advice and, like, actually apply it and see if that helps you grow. And then still maintain that friendship and everything else. I mean, it's not awful to do that. It's obviously not, like, amazing, but start to interact with you so I can be in your inner circle. Damn you, Teddy. Next I'm gonna have Lindsay in my inner circle. I'm gonna have to scrub that. That'll be a blocked word on Twitter. Kidding. But like, I don't know. Just go about it a little more slow burn than you did. Obviously it's a kid, they're eager and they're clout hungry. I hate using that clout hungry, but they are.
Amanda said, hi, Dream. And then she sent another message that was deleted after she made the allegations. We don't know what it was. We only know the last couple characters. And again, we only know it exists because she messed up.
I'm lonely, I think is what we're alluding to here.
Included it in an old TikTok of hers. And then I replied and later and said hi. Amanda said, how are you? November 16th. So that's another few days later. I replied and said, good, good. How about you? She replied and said, I'm pretty good. Thank you. November 30th. So, another 2 weeks later. Amanda said, hi, Dream. I want to actually become a streamer like you and your friend.
Again, with these messages. Like, build up the friendship, like it's beneficial to you to have a friendship with this person whom you're interacting with, because you can learn a lot from them, even if they're not directly telling you what to do or jumping on your streams. Like, I've learned to look at YouTube videos and I'm dissecting a lot more now, putting out live streams to where I'm trying to pay attention to stuff. Like, I feel like I've drastically improved on my, thumbnails, but I'm trying to put effort forth with my streams to improve, to keep getting better, to cover things better, and trying different things and seeing if they work, and if they don't work, maybe make a little bit of a change, see if that works, and going from there. Like, that's the drive that you need to have in order to do this. It's not that amazing. But like, doing this is just, you're looking to leech off of somebody, and it just strikes me as dirty.
Friends, I'm just so uneducated on what supplies I need. Can you recommend me all the products I need to successfully stream, like computer, cam, mic, headset, etc.? You have no idea how I would appreciate it. December 5th, 2020. So like a week later, I replied and said, almost everything I have was recommended by Bad Boy Halo. Haha. Amanda replied, and she sent another message that she deleted after she made the allegations. That again, we won't know what it was. December 26th, so almost a month later, Amanda sent a video. We don't know what the video was. I don't think it was opened. I don't know though. I didn't reply. January 5th, Amanda said again, hi Dream, I just want to say happy late New Year and Merry Christmas.
Again, like, first off, he's a busy guy, but like, he gave you a name to work with there. Pursue it.
Christmas. Congratulations on everything you've accomplished this year. I hope I am fortunate enough one day to be as successful as you. If you could tell me what kind of computer you have, that'd be great. January 16th, so 11 days later, I replied.
These
Thank you.
messages
Amanda
frustrated
replied,
me, if you can't
deleted
tell.
Message, and then part of it was, how are you? But obviously I didn't reply. April 13th, so a long time later, Amanda messaged me again and said, hi. I replied, hi. Amanda said, how are you? I said, decent. How are you? She said, I'm all right. Thank you. Then she said, I heard some snippets of the song you're working on, and I really like it. You have a really nice singing voice. I replied on April 14th. Thank you. So that was the next day. She said, you're welcome. And then December 26th, so that was like a long time later, she messaged me and said, Merry late Christmas, heart. I didn't reply. January 10th, she messaged me and said, hi, my Snapchat was banned and I have no friends. How are you? I replied 2 days later and said, how TF does a Snapchat get banned? Amanda replied and said, I'm pretty sure it's because I posted videos of me smoking, but all my memories from 2014 are gone. So sad. I replied the next day and said, damn. And then she replied that same day and said, yeah, it sucks. How are your holidays? I replied the next day and said, good, good. How about you? And then Amanda replied that same day and said, pretty good.
You may be wondering at this point, why are you replying to her? You seem clearly disinterested. You're taking days or weeks to reply, and then when you do reply, it's very dry. Well, Instagram has a really stupid feature.
I have no friends. How are you? Oh, Teddy. That would be amazing. I just need to see that. Like, go up to, like, clearly, like, famous people, but, like, not famous people. Like, we need, like, the B-list famous people, so that way they're, like, likely to engage with you. But you should totally just start doing that. Like, I don't know. Who's a good B-list celebrity? Steve Buscemi. Start with him.
Sure. That makes it so that once you've replied to someone's DMs once, you can't remove their ability to personally message you, unless you block them. You cannot be following them, you can delete them from your inbox, they can still message you and pop up in your notifications. I'm showing an example on screen of my DM continuing to pop up on my alt account. Just
go Steve Buscemi, Edward Norton, and Jake Gyllenhaal.
To show how it works. Obviously, given I replied to Amanda back in 2020 when I had a much smaller community, she was stuck in my inbox for the rest of time. You can temporarily delete someone from your inbox, and it deletes all of your message history to them for you, but they can still message you, with now a blank DM history. So at one point, wanting her to stop DMing me, I swiped her out of my inbox multiple times. It's actually completely provable that I did do this. I'm showing a video of my Instagram DMs to Amanda now, where they start in December of 2021, much later than her original DMs. Because you can't delete other people's individual messages and you can only...
So this goes back to a key thing. So we're missing a lot of context in that she's... Actually, wait, I want to see something. I may have misled things.
That I did do this. I'm showing a video of my Instagram DM.
Oh, right there. Right there. Okay, so oddly enough, with just the way the layout is here, So the scroll bar does start in the center. It doesn't start at the top. I don't go on Instagram enough to know that, but so that's interesting. So she could have started talking a lot earlier and shown the beginning of the messages, but oh, now I got to think of somebody who has Twitter. Oh, I know somebody. I know this is a tangent, Teddy, but you know what? You're important. Tim Curry would be a good one. Oh, let me think. Tim Roth would be another good one. Quentin Tarantino. There you go. There's two different people.
DMs to Amanda now, where they start in December of 2021, much later than her original DMs. Because you can't delete other people's individual messages and you can only delete entire conversations, this proves 100% that I was trying to delete her ability to message me in 2021. It also shows a problem. The only messages that I can see from Amanda were from...
By the way, it's ironic that I'm calling Quentin Tarantino a B-list celebrity, but he's one of my favorite freaking, yeah, there you go. But yeah, Tarantino's like one of my favorite directors. Scorsese is my favorite director, but he's definitely not a B-list celebrity, but I feel like he's a B-list celebrity in that, like, I feel like A-list celebrities to me are like the actors and actresses that you see like face on screen, like get paid big bucks. I feel like directors for the most part kind of fall into a B-list category because you don't always have a face to put with your name. Like Ford Francis Coppola directed some amazing freaking movies, but I put him in a lineup with like 4 other bearded tubby guys, and like I don't know if I could pick him out.
From December 2021 onward, I had no context or recollection of her original messages to me that made it clear that she was a really big fan. I don't remember everyone that messages me, who they are, where I know them from, so on. She messaged me from her personal
that messages there. That was kind of key. I want to see if he talks about it really quick.
No context or recollection of her original messages to me that made it clear that she was a really big fan. I don't remember everyone that messages me, who they are.
Okay, so this is the log. The way he broke this log up, and from my understanding, everything that you see in red is messages before he has access on the message like list to scroll through. So this is stuff that would be supporting what she showed on her scroll through videos. Oh, that's funny today.
Where I know,
but yeah, so once you get into the green here, this is where Dream has like supporting messages forward
them from, so on. She messaged me from her personal Instagram, had no connections to any fan accounts, didn't send me any more fan messages, and she had DM'd me many times talking about content creation and streaming, some of which she deleted. She seemed very normal, friendly, and implied strongly that she was overage. What I thought about her age doesn't matter that much.
Again, context. I never saw a thing in all the messages that he showed there that would insinuate that anything inappropriate happened.
Because nothing inappropriate happened, but it does matter to show my mindset because I don't go around befriending underage girls or people that are obsessed with me or my content. To the best of my knowledge, she was neither. Continuing with the transcript, now we get to the very end, which was our first real conversation. This one was about music, which makes sense. It's something I'm really passionate about. At the time, I was working on a song called Trust Issues and some other random music projects, and in the middle of us talking about music, I gave her my Snapchat. I said, add me on Snapchat, and she said, sure thing, just added you. I was sharing music snippets with a bunch of people at the time, and as we were talking about music, I wanted to share them with her. And I'm obviously not going to send snippets of a new song over Instagram. Now, I've pretty much always used Snapchat as one of my main forms of communication. It was actually the first social media I ever got because a friend of mine wanted to...
I don't know. I kind of... So, what do you guys think out there in the audience with all this? What do you think of this, like, level of engagement? Knowing Dream's a 32 million subscriber content creator, primarily makes video games that are geared... makes video game streams, and the game that he plays is primarily geared towards a younger audience. how do you feel like he should not be engaging with his audience in the ways that you see him engaging?
Start a streak with me, and it's something I started using a lot more when I became faceless on YouTube, because yeah, stuff is deleted. You don't have to stress over people analyzing or leaking everything you say. And for me, even for something as simple as a picture of my cat, people used to zoom into my cat's eyes to look at the reflection to try and dox me. This was not uncommon at all. So of course,
this would like drive me nuts. I'm just gonna say
I felt much more comfortable using Snapchat during this period, especially with people that I wasn't great friends with, but even with my best friends. Now let's go over her actual claims in detail. Amanda claims that after I added her on Snapchat on January 17th, 2022, that we started sexting. She showed that her birthday, when she would turn 18, is on February 17th, exactly a month later. She claims that we sexted from around the 17th of January, the day I added her on Snapchat, to the 10th of February, and then that it stopped. She said that while she was still underage.
So her claims on this whole thing, I went a different route and just tweeted you know what? Still a B-list celebrity. He had a cameo in, what was it, Home Alone, I think? Or was it Gremlins? I can't remember. One of the two. Ask him to give you some tips on building an ice rink. See how that goes. What was I just gonna say? I gotta keep going.
We exchanged nudes. Her evidence of this was 2 photos of supposedly...
Oh, yeah. So 17 and 11 months old. Like, this is taking place in, like, literally, like, the status bar is at, like, 95% to 18. It's Home Alone 2. Wait, you watch Christmas movies for Halloween? Teddy. Are you one of those people that decorates, like, early?
Me, from after she was 18, complimenting her. Her final important claim was that she traveled to Orlando in August and that we planned to meet up and have sex. And I just want to make sure that I blatantly deny this before continuing. None of this is true. And now I'm going into more detail. Now...
Okay, and so... all of this sexting that we have no proof of happened in that month span, and then she includes as part of her allegations the whole... oh my god, trip to Orlando thing, and that would have contextually happened after she's 18.
Unfortunately, because she didn't provide any proof of these things, it's difficult to be specific about some of the things she claimed. It's much easier to completely make up that something happened than it is to prove that it never did. Like if I said right now, prove to me 100% that you never sexted a specific person that you've had on Snapchat at any point, it would be impossible to do. But what I can do is lay out all the inconsistencies, talk about the proven lies, the specifics, point out questions that were never asked, and provide all of the evidence that I have. And I believe that luckily, that's way more than enough. So first, I want to talk about the timeline. Every contact we've ever had with each other before January 17th is the Instagram DMs, which I just read to you, which are now...
Okay, so from everything in red, I believe, like I said, is pre-context from just pulling the log, which I believe he got this log legally. I watched it on Christmas, Halloween. Successful. Teddy, you need to tweet that out. That is a golden tweet. Just change the holiday. It'd be like starting New Year outright. But yeah, all the messages in red are messages she has. Oh god. History for that he does not. Green would be everything that he has history for, and I believe blue would be that time frame in which she's accusing him of the lewd contact.
All public in their entirety in the description of this video, other than the messages that she deleted. She claims that sexting started around January 17th and that sexting stopped February 10th.
So from the 17th to maybe February 10th is the time frame where we were sexting.
So even if we say that it started a couple weeks before it stopped, you'd have to believe that every message you've just seen, we went from that to sexting days later in 2022 before my face reveal. Even if you want to give her the maximum benefit of doubt and say that she confused the timeline, she turned 18 on the 17th, 1 week after she claimed the sexting stopped. So there's not much leeway. Secondly, we can talk about her Twitter. She tweeted out defending me from hate on my face reveal 10 days before the allegations, and was liking my tweets, including a subscriber milestone tweet 2 days before she tweeted her allegations. With the timing of the face reveal and her allegation, my belief is that there was a lot of hate and that it's easy to get spiteful and join in on a hate train. I had ignored multiple of her Instagram DMs and Snapchat messages in recent months, and I had also made a new Snapchat that I I didn't add her on. I still used my old Snapchat occasionally, but I just rarely responded. That's my only real explanation for why she flipped so quickly from being publicly positive to me to lying about me, but I guess I'll never really know. Thirdly, the only photos she showed as proof that I groomed her were both pictures from based on her own evidence after she was 18, meaning even if we give her the benefit of doubt and assume everything she's provided is real and truthful, she was 18 when these messages would have been sent, and I had no context to the fact that she was more than a small streamer. But on top of that, I unblocked her Snapchat, went through our Snapchat chats, and couldn't find either of the messages that she was talking about. I also downloaded all of our Snapchat logs using the Snapchat data tool, which she can do as well, and neither of the compliments that she showed were in the logs. Now, honestly, this is pretty useless information because there's almost no messages in the logs at all, but it's still extremely weird that she was asked for these logs many times. It takes 5 minutes to download, and she never did it. Probably because it doesn't support what she was saying. On top of those things, from everything she had told me, she was 19, and we had no inappropriate contact. The context of these messages would be a 22-year-old creator calling a
10 out of 10, by the way, Teddy. I'll pull this on the screen. Oh, no. So Teddy put out a tweet. Will you do what I want you to do? A lot of people have movie traditions on holidays, like, for example, every Christmas I watch Home Alone 2, and on Halloween I watch movies about successful women because that's true horror. Make sure we like that. If you follow Teddy on the X, Twitter, make sure to go give him a like. Maybe a follow. Only if he's nice to you and he breaches your inner circle.
19-year-old streamer
with permission.
Gorgeous on a birthday post while giving her a gift card as a birthday present. Finally, she said that we planned to meet up and have sex in August when she was in Orlando.
It was suggested that we meet up and have sex. I was either going to have him come to the resort I was at, or he was going to pick me up and bring him to his house.
First of all, this was before my face reveal. I did not leave my house. I was massively paranoid. I was not meeting up with a random person I had just met 2 months before my face reveal, let alone at a resort, which is what her claim was. I'm gonna go ahead and play a phone call with my mom, just to give you some perspective from
this phone call, in my opinion, adds zero context to this whole thing. Where are we at? We are at 38. Okay, so let's jump forward to the police station. This was some straight cool, yeah, Teddy. Oh, hindsight. Hey, now you got the tweet for next year, and it should hopefully remind you. Set the tweet, because I think you can schedule tweets, right? Schedule the tweet to do that on Halloween and Christmas, and you can just do it now. But this is some Discovery Channel level stuff that he does here.
She then tweeted a picture of the inside of a police station and also said she'll come back with more evidence, to be patient, that it's a process, and that it could be days. And that's her last tweet. It's been almost a year and a half now. Obviously, nothing happened. I waited and waited. Then I got impatient, so I asked my legal team to look more into it. They got all of her information, and after filing many requests, they couldn't find anything. So, annoyed and still impatient, I asked them to get more specific. And after a lot of digging, my legal team was able to track down exactly where this picture is from based on the colors of the walls, the cameras, and a plaque outside the door. Then had someone go to the police station and requested specific records from this specific police station, and checked every record they could, criminal and civil.
I didn't find anything under either one of those names.
And there was no information at all. I was not even in their system.
So you're not listed in my system at all.
So if you want to believe everything she said, you have to believe either one of these two things. Either one, she lied, this photo is fake, she never filed anything, and if she's lying about that, why would she not be lying?
Okay, orange frosted cinnamon rolls sound amazing right now, and that's probably because I've got a bit of a floatiness going on. But I'm so glad that your cinnamon rolls were not groomed by Dream.
Lying about literally everything else. Or two, the picture is real, and whatever story she told didn't even meet the minimum required standard of proof to file a single piece of paperwork that my legal team could find in over a year and a half. I also sent a photocopy of my driver's license identification to this specific police station, a copy of Amanda's information, and let them know I was happy to answer any questions. To which Again, nothing ever happened. Not a single question, there was not a single case, accusation, or anything substantial enough to even have me in any system. And inevitably, when after this video, she makes another thread or another post reiterating the same lies that she has already said, or promising even more things that she never follows through on, go to the police or sue me. The standard of proof for you suing me is only proving that it's more likely than not that you're telling the truth. 51%. Come take my money. But she won't. Because if she does, they're not going to treat it like it's Twitter. She's going to have to address all the lies. She's going to...
Okay, this was another spot that I kind of had a little bit of a problem with him. When it comes to making accusations against a creator of this size and just saying, well, sue me or take me to court, it's a very easy statement to make from a position of power. You have a lot of power because you have a lot of money, and that money can buy a legal team that can just stall even things indefinitely, which is going to run up costs for the other side as well, and say that you win this whole settlement and now they're responsible for your legal costs. That could literally be life ruination for someone who's a young person. And can you imagine getting strapped with like $500,000 worth of legal debt and you're what, 18?
Gonna have to address all the inconsistencies. She's gonna have to address her weird comments, her false promises, her character,
Exactly,
and most
Teddy.
importantly, be held accountable in her real life for what she's saying. This isn't online drama. This is real life stuff. There are real victims that have been manipulated, abused, and taken advantage of. Amanda, you are hurting.
And you know what? XQC uses the same kind of idea that, look, if what I'm doing is so wrong, come to me and I've got a full process worked out to where I'll do different things. And it's like, well, you can't say that from a position of like, you're being empowered by a platform to do what he's doing in his case. And so, I mean, even though I might feel like you're stealing content, it's a double-edged sword because I can't afford to take you to court and you can afford to go to court. And even though I might be in the right, I financially can't do jack shit about it.
Actual victims. You are diminishing the very real trauma that victims of grooming and abuse have gone through. You are making it harder for real victims of abuse to come forward. You are not a victim. You are not doing a good thing. No matter how terrible you think I am, or that the ends justify the means, you are hurting victims. Just in case this video isn't enough for you to realize that, check your mailbox. And that's all I have to say about these allegations. Now, before continuing with other stuff, I want to talk a little bit about what happened after these allegations. After these allegations and after my face reveal, I'll be honest, I lost a lot of motivation. I distanced myself from Minecraft. And
Okay, this is, again, not important. Oh, where are we? What happened after math? This is what we want to get into next. Oh yeah, 10 out of 10, Teddy. The later Oompa Loompas were better than the previous year, but Gene Wilder is still the best Wonka.
Nicholas Cantu. If you don't know who that is, he's the voice actor for Gumball, Diego from Dora, and one of the turtles in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, Diego. That's where I knew him from.
I had a terrible experience in real life with this person, so I replied to him talking about it and defending myself, and this situation blew up. I don't think I've ever gotten more hate in my life. September 23rd, I went to a friend of mine's birthday party.
This is really cool. Again, this is not really leading to thankfully you agree, Teddy. This is not really tie in with the whole SA, CM, CA stuff, but this ties into the whole situation in which Gumball makes some pretty broad accusatory statements, and then also just has this weird like drunken rant.
Party in Austin, Texas. When I showed up, Nicholas Cantu was there. He was already drunk and was drinking. He was being very aggressive to me throughout the night. I didn't know him. This was my first time ever meeting him, and we were not friends. Eventually, while on FaceTime to show his friends, he hit me out of nowhere. Again, this was my first time ever meeting him. I was there for another hour or so, and then when leaving the party, everyone decided to Uber together because it was late and there wasn't many of us there. Nicholas ended up in the front seat of the Uber that I was in, despite my apprehension. I thought, what's the worst that could happen? It's an Uber ride, and there's other people there, so I was...
Look, I think I'm navigating the ties between Willy Wonka and, well, This Willy's Wonka.
Not worried. Little did I know, he ended up dropping his phone out of the Uber window in the middle of the highway, and after he got out to look for it, the police showed up and stopped him from looking because it was dangerous and dark. Eventually, the Uber driver
This Wonka's Willy. I should have said it that way. Hindsight.
convinced Nicholas to leave.
Well, I want to promise you that I'm sober, so if you guys want to conduct a sobriety test.
Hey, look, hey, we're about to head out.
And after we left, the Uber driver was trying to give advice to Nicholas on the police, telling him that he could have been arrested, and Nicholas did not like what he had to say.
You're retarded, you're f***ing Down syndrome, I don't give a f***. How far did you go in your education?
Who cares?
Of course, I started to get involved and argue with Nick, defending the Uber driver, and Nick did not like that at all.
Either you're going to be paralyzed.
True, Teddy. True. I need to file a horror. I need to file that under horror. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move that to a horror category now.
Paralyzed, you're going to be dead. Like, I'm serious.
Okay, man.
And he was saying this, of course, after he had already assaulted me. While this was all happening, one of the other two people in the car with me that I also just met that night was recording him. He was aware of this, and he was actually the one that asked to be recorded.
Thanks for recording, by the way. How long is it? But yeah, this YouTube video is going to be nuts. Subscribe to the Kanzu Network. Tune your sets right there.
The next day, Nicholas sent me a very nice DM saying that he was sorry for hitting me, that he was having a really rough night, and that he was high and drunk.
What? Wait a minute. Roll with the punches. Make sure you're good. Right here, he says, and on the allegations stuff, I truly will never know who is right and who's lying on that. But I know that having lies and numerous rumors spread about you is awful and really fucks you big time.
He said that he was sorry for spreading false allegations that he knew nothing about, saying that he recognized it could ruin people's lives. Complimented me, called me humble, grounded, and a good human. I didn't accept this apology, but I moved on, and honestly, I felt kind of bad for him. I recognized that he was once a child actor, and I feel like there's a lot of bad stuff in that industry, so I felt a little bit of sympathy. I hoped he would just learn from the mistakes he made that night and move on. But then, of course, Nicholas started tweeting, spreading the same lies about me.
Yeah, he did
already
apologize,
apologized
Teddy.
for spreading and recognized could ruin
And then
people's
recanted.
lives. He was also wishing death upon me publicly in Twitter replies, and that's when I realized it wasn't just one bad night, and people needed to know about this. After I shared my experiences with him, he denied everything. He DM'd me saying I was lying, saying that if there wasn't video proof, it's all lies. He tweeted denying it all, which he deleted.
I'm not going to speak out here. No, he's lying.
And then he tweeted lying more about the situation, but also admitting to some stuff while underplaying.
So you think that tipping him, like, makes up for the fact that you're an awful person? Damn. Number 3. Oh my god, Teddy.
He blatantly lied about the fact that he tipped the Uber driver when he didn't. He blatantly lied about me sending unsolicited dick pics to people. He also deleted that tweet almost immediately after. He blatantly lied about the reason he hit me and claimed I called the girl.
I mean, he didn't delete it almost immediately after.
About the fact that he tipped the Uber driver when he didn't. He blatantly lied about me.
There's a 12-hour time frame in there.
Sending unsolicited dick pics to people. He also deleted that tweet almost immediately after. He blatantly lied about the reason he hit me and claimed I called the girl a whore and got slapped for it, which again was later recanted, but not after millions of people had already seen those lies. Nicholas tried DMing one of the people that was in the Uber that night with.
Okay.
With us to try and get them on his side as.
Oh my god.
The witness. That caused the person who I didn't know at all to message me. and tell me that they had videos of him being horrible from that night and that they don't like the.
Reach out through Twitter. No idea what's happening or how it started. It's pretending to be innocent.
I asked them if they'd be willing to send me the videos so I.
I say I'd appreciate the video. I never mention anyone else because drama is terrible for mental health.
Could back up my story since he was denying it and lying, and they told me that he was threatening them to make.
Okay, this is the one I wanted to read. That's a fair position.
Sure, they didn't give me the videos. After I ended up finally getting the videos, I posted them. I needed to defend myself against the lies that he was telling and wanted to share the proof. I also posted screenshots of texts between me and the Uber driver, confirming that he had blatantly lied and didn't even tip the Uber driver.
You know what? Sorry. I got like as you can hear, there's something in my throat. Anyway, I will say that kind of dictates what kind of person he is. The last part of that message is, how has everything been for you? Like, he literally, even if it's just oh, hey, I'm just trying to be nice thing, still to at least do that is nice.
After I posted this, Nicholas went silent, deleted his tweets, and hasn't said anything publicly since. People still think that I lied and faked the Uber driver's text, or many other lies that were falsely spread by Nicholas or other people online. So I got in contact with the Uber driver from that night. I interviewed him, and I'll let him speak for himself to help clear.
I kind of want to pause to read this real quick. Making everyone's name miserable. Telling the cops that you're drinking at 20 is not good. All three of you were a big help and did nothing wrong the whole night. He was the fuck up.
Some things up. Hey, what's the worst that can happen? It's an Uber drive. And
Oh.
What's the worst that can
What's the
happen?
worst can happen? It happened.
Either you're gonna be paralyzed or you're gonna be dead. Like, I'm serious.
Okay, man. What's going on, man?
This is our Uber driver, who happens to be one.
By the way, this guy's like the most chill freaking Uber driver ever. Like, he should start a channel.
One of the highest rated Uber drivers in all of Texas. He agreed to come share his recollection of what happened, so I'm just gonna let him talk.
When I picked you guys up, you know, he had a lot of energy. He was wild, like putting his head outside filming. The phone dropped out of the car. When the cop showed up, the cop came up to the car at first and was talking to him. And the way that he was speaking to the cop, he was speaking like down on the cop. And I'm like, man, like, you need to be quiet because you're going to go to jail if you keep talking to the cops like that. As soon as I said that, not even 20 seconds, the cop came and he was like, you get out the car, you're going to jail. I'm trying to save you from going to jail because I don't want nobody to go to jail, period. He kept saying something about like IQ, like he felt like he was better. And I was like, nobody cares about your IQ. There's a lot of people with high IQs in jail right now. So what are you going to tell him? You're going to talk to him and say that you're a child star while you're in jail? So I was like, I'm trying to help you out. I don't want you to go to jail. Even after you're acting crazy and wild, which most Uber drivers would have left you. You never said anything negative towards him while he was saying all this stuff. Majority of the stuff didn't make it on the tape. I think he was going through a lot of...
I feel like that's exactly it, Jim. This guy could totally create a channel and just give like Uber horror stories kind of thing, and just like almost like like the Reddit like reads like stories type things.
Other things besides just being drunk. And the thing is, it doesn't really matter what he was on, what he was going through, the way he was acting, it was unacceptable. 50 or 60%, I may be wrong about the number, but something like that of all violence has alcohol in it. So if that was the case, all these people would be getting away with it. Like y'all kept saying, I'm sorry, like we just met him.
You're gonna be forgotten like the dust in the sand when you're in the Sahara and there's 100 million, 1,000 billion sand particles. You're gonna be one of those, and I'm gonna be a statue erected in gold.
Yeah, he went He went all into the Egyptian king and like he's real creative.
Yeah, did he ever tip you anything?
No, that was another lie. Well, I don't know why he said that. And you know what? At the end of the day, it doesn't even matter about the tip or anything.
Imagine being like rich. Let's just ruminate on that for a second. But imagine being like rich and like you're taking an Uber, you're doing everything right, you're still a fucking pretentious asshole the entire fucking ride. And you had the audacity to not even, he probably left the poor guy like a 1-star review. I hit the wrong button.
Like that. Don't say it if you're not going to do it. And don't say it at all. I wasn't begging you guys for a tip or anything like that. Man, it was an eventful night. I don't know why a lot of people think that you were the one that was doing all these things and making all this stuff up and you wanted to do all this. I was like, he was the one that was trying to stop everything the most.
I posted like literally just like 2 screen caps of text from you, and everybody was saying they were fake. It was one of the messages where you said like, there needs to be more people like you in the world or something. And they're like, when would somebody ever say that?
Because they didn't experience you in that.
Just because you don't have people around you saying that kind of stuff doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I encountered someone that like literally like just made me stop and go, wow, there are people like this in the world. And it was in a good respect. Tangent again. Mitch just did his Shockamania stream, went for 24 hours. Dude's a champ for what he did. And in all of that, Darcy was a big donator of his, and I noticed Darcy talking in the general chat in the Shockmouse Discord, and just, you know, what he was saying about himself. There needs to be more people like that. His views on life, I envy his views on life.
That manner, right? Yeah. Those are my real words. And I did feel that way. So I'm letting you guys know right now, all those text messages, that was me saying it. Dream did make the situation better. Everybody coming at Dream, that's not how it went down. It was nothing like that. And now you're telling me how you got hit, and it showed me who you are. The first impression of somebody is a lasting impression. And you were nothing but respectful since you got in the vehicle. And you tried to de-escalate everything that was going on. All the people in the back, Nicholas, if you are listening, really do some deep diving in yourself and figure out what the real issue was. Do a lot of soul searching.
This gives you a snapshot into this guy's frame of mind. This man is deep.
Because you are intelligent, because I could tell some of your comebacks and what were you saying, but the way you were acting was more.
He just complimented him and he was a total asshole to him.
More of a cry for help. Whatever you're going through, you got to fight and you got to get some help. Don't fight other people, fight what you're going through. At the end of the day, I know we all make bad decisions and we have to learn the lesson from it. And this was just a bad decision that you made, and just learn from it. And all the different YouTubers and all the different people that were commenting about the situation, I do understand the entertainment part of it, right? And it's just seen a lot of memes and everything, but I was reading a lot of comments. He was saying this, or he was saying that, or it doesn't make sense. All that stuff doesn't mean anything if you were not there. It's just speculation. And if somebody older is trying to help you guys out, my advice is for you guys to listen. That's it.
It's always
That's
worth
all you
listen.
have to do. But you don't have to be negative towards them. And we have to stick together because there's so many things that keep us apart, right? Just like if you look at it, it's the dream.
By the way, since we're on like the motivational arc of this whole video, and like we're stepping away from the Oompa Loompa allegations, I just want to say there is a stream planned that I'm really working hard on, and there's a lot of content to go through, and I want to bring the correct content to the table. But I want to, in this next year, we're going to go out of our way to try and help somebody in the community that I feel needs to have their story told. Yeah, this guy really does need a channel, right? Like, he straight up could write motivational, like, inspirational posters for offices and shit.
And the voice for Gumball. How about you and Nicholas have a sit down with me? We talk all the issues and all the problems out, and we can show people how bringing things together from a negative to a positive.
This guy's talking to a multi-million subscriber, millionaire streamer, and all he wants to do is sit and have a conversation and bring things together and make it. This guy has the best. Like, these are people that I'm envious of a bit in life, like, because I aspire to be like them.
And that was, see how that spreads. It's in the universe.
Amazing, man. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on.
I posted a longer version of this interview on my second channel if you'd like more context. We talked for a long time. Now, before I...
Yeah, that was a big thing to me too, Jim. He never slammed the guy. He was actually complimenting him. And just, yeah, trying to heal that divide. But, like, there's so much to be said about going out of your way to not just not knock the guy, but to overcome that and to compliment him. Be like, dude, you're seriously intelligent. Like, the things you were saying were like freaking 3D chess level.
I show you the most insane, hair loss inducing mayhem I have ever seen on Twitter that took place after I posted this video of him. I need to reiterate a couple facts. 1, I just met Nicholas. He was already drunk when I met him. 2, the party was not my party. I did not provide alcohol to anyone. 3,
I'm so glad to hear that, Teddy.
Did not know how old Nicholas was. And here's a video of what Nicholas said after I found out his age and critiqued him for drinking in front of the cops.
Why are you a narc pedophile?
4, I was not the one recording, and I only posted the video because he was lying and saying unless there's video proof, it didn't happen. So yeah, now that that's clarified, enjoy.
Yes, we need more Uber driver and a lot less Lindsay. By the way, I love how they went to a party. This guy was already there. They arrived completely separately, but somehow this kid getting drunk at a party that wasn't even his fucking party was his fault. You know what? That's the anti-racism tax, Teddy. And I do think he does a great job of focusing here. I don't know how I turned around to you gave a minor. So this is the moving of the goalposts in action right here. So we talk about all this stuff and everybody's like, well, oh, you're 18, you're not a minor. But then when it comes to drinking, because he's 20 and not 21, he's suddenly a minor again? Like, so why don't we full ass move the goalpost to 21, and anybody under 21's a fucking minor, because they can't do shit in that freaking gap between you graduate high school and you can finally pick your vice for the rest of your life. That's a winning idea, Jim. Yeah, culturally in Europe, alcohol even goes younger than that. It goes to like frickin' 14. I had a really, okay, this is going to be a tangent, but I love having my tangents because I feel like it adds context to these situations. So going off again about my cruise that we took in October, I had a interesting conversation with the taxi driver while we were down there. Yeah, you can't buy cancer sticks, but you can go die for your country. And you can't have a shot of whiskey. I always, that's the libertarian in me, but no, when we were down there, we were talking, I was like asking him, like, kind of just interested in like the culture down there. And like, so we got onto the topic of like driving and stuff like that. And just like, what's an adult down there? And he's like, you could drink at whatever age, you could drive. I think at 16 you could drive. Basically, once you're able to drive, you're a whole ass adult in that country. You're like responsible for whatever the fuck happens. Like, there's none of this like baby stepping into life like there is here. and it's frustrating. I know it's actually frustrating because I can remember being those ages, and like there's that month when you turn 21 where everything becomes available, and it's like, oh cool, I can gamble, I can have cigarettes, and I can drink, and like you go on this like little spree, and then after a month it like is worn off its luster, and you just realize how expensive everything is, and the only things you have to look forward to next are 23, you can get a hotel room. So 2 years still, you can't even travel anywhere. And like, it's not like you can go to Cancun and rent a hotel room and party, because you can't get a hotel room. Like, that's ridiculous to me. Okay. Let alone you can't rent a fucking car either. Things that drive me nuts in this country. I just remember being so frustrated, and then it wears off and it loses its luster. And it's just like, I feel like things are more prevalent when there's that taboo of being illegal.
As you can see, it got insane. Tweets doxing me and my friends and family got tens of thousands of likes. I have never seen that in my life. So I just want to talk very
fetal
briefly
alcoholism for the win there, Teddy.
About how serious doxing and swatting can be.
Okay, by the way, I'm totally kind of envious of this house. I love this drive. I'm, again, going back to be a car guy. Oh my god. I would ruin this beautiful driveway. Getting a bottle of Jameson and I drank it in over a month. I was like, oh, this is it. Right? I remember I was so mad on my 21st birthday because I didn't have many friends, and so I ended up taking myself out to the bars. And, like, I just got free drinks and drinking with bartenders and stuff, and ended up playing pool. And I was like, so this sucks.
It's a common thing for people to say that I don't think doxing is serious. In a clip that got a lot of attention from a stream of mine a while ago, I said that if you have 7 followers on Twitter, you shouldn't stress over being.
This is a really good look at having a retrospective review of like, okay, I thought doxing was this, but now I changed my opinion. Oh, I hear you, Teddy. My 21st was so anticlimactic. Like I said, I think I took myself out for my birthday, and at some point I just was like, this is dumb. And I just went home.
Doxed. I don't stand by that, and I didn't mean to minimize doxing.
I'm also a January baby, and being in the Northeast in January in America, it's cold. So no one wanted to come out.
Doxing at all. I had just said before that if you dox people, you are not a part of my community, that I don't support you, and that it's disgusting. It can happen to anyone, and it can be serious to anyone. I was just trying to make the point that it's less likely to happen to somebody that's smaller, because people have less reasons to target them, and that if they were targeted, they had less reason to actually follow through on anything. But it's just not something that
I learned something today. And I never heard of it before, but I'm kind of interested in the prospect of this. So apparently there's a... what was it called? A sensitivity survey that you can do, like through a company or someone, that basically they'll dig into your life and come back to you with like, here's what we found about how good or bad of a person you are in the world and what can be found out about you. And apparently it's like a popular thing for like politicians to do. But I could totally see that becoming a thing within like different creator communities like YouTube. Okay, I'm gonna buy 21 Press. Right? That would be interesting. I think it would just be so freaking interesting. Like, I think that it would, I just see it becoming a more prevalent thing within the communities. I could totally see this becoming a thing. I feel like YouTubers and politicians have a similar career arc, as in the more popular you get, the more you got to be like, you have to have a team that's centric to you, that's promoting your ideas, can help evolve your business and keep you growing. And like, it really, when you start lining up like what it takes to be a politician and what it takes to be like a famous YouTuber, There's a lot of similarities.
Should have said, or something I should have explained, as it made it seem like I was supporting doxing when I just wasn't at all. I have always said that doxing is extremely serious. Swatting is extremely serious.
By the way, this whole sensitivity survey thing that I learned about was while watching a stream on a Republican senator that also did drag.
And I don't think people even realize how serious. It's not just, haha, funny, send a pizza to someone's house. It's attempted identity theft for my family members and friends. Credit cards being signed up for in people's names. Fans or people who dislike you showing up at your house or your family's house to try and break in. Trackers being put on your family members' cars. People showing up at your little sister's job. SWAT teams being called to you in your family members' houses. Bomb threats and the FBI
Teddy, you would have so much to explain.
And to make sure you're okay. People calling your 80-year-old grandma, pretending to be you, and
what is the point of this, by the way?
Terrorizing her. That's all stuff
Like,
that has happened
why?
to me,
Why do
my
that?
family, and my friends. They're not hypotheticals. This isn't just that you don't like Dream. It's not just me whose life you're putting at risk and who you're harassing. You're going after an 80-year-old woman who has done nothing to you. It's not just me you're hurting when you make up lies or spread horrible things. It's the 50 employees I have.
Okay, so to give another good, like, juxtaposition with this, so you got Dream here, and with what he's saying, I wholeheartedly agree with, okay? And the other side of the coin would be Repzion. And I do want to cover his stuff at some point, too. I don't know if we'll get to it, but I feel like his whole BS video of, like, I'm selling my okay, first of all, you're selling your fucking channel, and all the caveats that he has with that shit, it is such bullshit. Oh my god, that frustrates me. He is milking the shit out of that. And I noticed something that no one's really pointed out with his whole fucking deal right there. That motherfucker never gave a date. He said, sometime in 2024, I'm going to leave. That could be December 31st, 2024. We could still have a year of Repzion.
Who also have families and lives. It's all.
And then he could sit there and turn around and be like, oh no, all my fans wanted me to stay, so I stayed. Come here, Onion Man.
All of my friends and anyone that's ever been associated with me. It's my family, my grandparents, and most importantly, actual victims who have gone through traumatic things. And that's not even talking about the stuff that hasn't happened to me, but has happened to other people. Pets and people being shot by police officers during swattings. People breaking in with a gun to kill a YouTuber they don't like.
This is an interesting story too, but that whole swatting thing where the gentleman was killed, oh my god, that is such a shit show. We should watch the freaking Keemstar stream that's related to all that sometime. That dude, you want to talk about like sociopath?
Like, it's incredibly serious, and it's not.
He makes Teddy look like a Care Bear.
Okay. That wasn't even the end of the craziness, though. That was the beginning. Because then, during the midst of all the Nicholas drama, someone tweeted out this, accusing me of sexting a 16/17-year-old girl named Jamie. Because I was currently the internet punching.
Okay, this is the third allegation we got going.
Bag, and it was proof that the punching was justifiable. It was spread.
So first we had the flirting that was disproven, the Amanda stuff that's been disproven. And now we're on to the moaning stuff.
Very quickly, without a lot of questions being asked. Before I break it down, I want to immediately say that this is not true. I did not groom anyone. I did not groom Jamie, and I would never be inappropriate with someone underage. When they posted this allegation, attached was a video that, of course, went viral. It was a video from another phone of a Snapchat being opened, supposedly from Dream, that had moaning in the background and a very sexual caption. This is the clip in its entirety without audio. They also attached screenshots of Discord DMs between anonymous people who were claimed to be two friends of Dreams and said it was them discussing me having sexted a minor. In these screenshots, they say that I was confronted about it and that I admitted it. I've shown you every piece of evidence they posted without changes, and I've mentioned everything that they've claimed. Now, just to reiterate,
this is the big infamous Burner22 account. This account comes around again.
This is not true. Every piece of evidence is either out of context, edited, blatantly lied about, or presented in a very disingenuous way. Again, I did not groom anyone. I also was never confronted about grooming by any of my friends. Now, of course, when something like this is claimed, it's extremely serious, so I'm gonna break it down in detail. Okay, so who is this accusation from? It's from an anonymous burner account made the day of the accusation, which is interesting. So we don't know who they are, but we do know who the victim is. Jamie, right? And how old did they say she was? They said 16/17. Okay. So what else do we know about Jamie? They said she left the internet in 2020. So because they apparently can't, let me tell you who Jamie is. I follow Jamie on Twitter, which people quickly pointed to as proof. As you can see, Jamie is also followed by Skeppy, Verb, and Spifey, other YouTubers from the community. I met Jamie when I wasn't even a YouTuber. I had just posted my first ever YouTube video less than a month before. I had less than 100 followers on Twitter the month that I met her. I made a lot of friends around this time because I wasn't a big creator and I was part of a lot of online communities as a fan. She played on Bad Boy Halo's Minecraft server and was a fan of Skeppy. I was trying to grow and make connections, and I had pretty much just made my Twitter account, so I made a lot of friends. Many people from this time I'm still friends with to this day. People claiming that me following her is proof that I sexed underage fans or groomed her at all is ridiculous. These claims are completely false. They were right about her age. She's 21 now, so she would have been around 17 4 years ago. That's about the only correct thing they said this entire time. Like, remember they said she quit the internet in 2020 as a convenient way to excuse any questions about her? Well, she didn't. She liked a tweet from last month, actively tweeted all of 2022, and she changed her bio and Twitter account name when this happened, just wanting to be left alone? That's interesting. And she actually tweeted saying she only privated her account because some of her IRL friends were finding it and she didn't want them to. I wonder why they lied about that. Maybe because the person who's claiming this doesn't know Jamie, doesn't know anything about Jamie, doesn't know me, doesn't know anything about...
This, to me, and a lot of this is the result of having those relationships that he's built with his... Leave people alone is for the birds. But this is like the relationships he's built with his community is why people feel comfortable doing this.
About me, and is being malicious and making up whatever they can to end my career.
And this is where I feel like he needs to pick.
They also said they posted the videos with permission, which of course makes the videos seem much more real. Well, it's apparently me, and I didn't give them permission, and it's apparently sent to Jamie, and she didn't give them permission. She quit the internet. She couldn't have. They even critiqued Moist Critical for his video, saying how terrible it was, claiming that I admitted that the Snapchats were real, which I never did. In their original tweet, they notably say, when she had her age in her bio, which seems oddly specific, just to remove the few people that would say, well, what if you didn't know her age? When even in their own proof, which is random Discord messages with no context or who the messages even are, in another part of their screenshot, anonymous person number 2 says this, but for some reason that's cropped out of their tweets because they don't even know what the screenshots they're using as evidence say. They don't care about the truth. They're just making things up as they go, and because it's a claim against me, people will just believe it. They can say Jamie left the internet, no proof, but I guess she did. They say they got permission to post these videos. I guess they did. They post a video of Snapchats. Say it's mine. They never show the Snapchat profile or any proof that it's my Snapchat, but I guess you can't change your Snapchat name for free to anything at any time as many times as you want. So it must be Dream. No more evidence needed. They're telling the truth. Even with what little context and evidence they have to crop things and lie to try and hide the fact that they know nothing. But the burner seemed so confident. They couldn't be being malicious. They even put in their bio that if Dream reached out, they would personally give him their information so that he could sue them, because everything they were saying was 100% true. Oh, what? That's not in their bio anymore? That's weird. I wonder why they removed that. They did reveal who they got the original screenshots from. So let's see what that person has to say and why the burner was so confident in their claims. Quote, I don't know Jamie. I've never known her. I've never had a private or a public interaction with her at all, unquote. Wow, seems like they have a whole lot of information. So I reached out to them to try and find anything that I could find to find out what this was even about, because I've never been confronted by one of my friends for grooming, and I've never groomed anybody. So I found out who was anonymous in these messages, and let's hear what they have to say.
These screenshots are extremely out of context and used disingenuously to tell a story about Dream that isn't true at all. I haven't spoken to Dream in a very long time, but to my knowledge, he has not interacted with underage fans inappropriately or in
I think this probably did the most for his video.
any way that could be considered grooming. These DMs were posted by the burner without my permission and without ever contacting me beforehand. They were sent to the burner by a vulnerable person that was upset and being taken advantage of while under the influence of alcohol. I want to be anonymous and stay completely out of this because all of the terrible stuff I've seen happen to everyone mentioned on both sides is very scary. This conversation was private in my life, and no one deserves to have their personal life dug through because of anonymous people making false claims without knowledge or context about anything they're saying.
This person was not involved at all and did not consent to anything. Now, if you're a little confused, I am too. This is a burner account making up things. Their story makes no sense. Okay, so let's just summarize this. This allegation is not from a victim. It is from an anonymous Twitter account that was made the same day as the allegation. This anonymous person claims that I groomed a girl named Jamie. They did not ever contact Jamie. They did not know Jamie. They got none of their information from Jamie. They even incorrectly said that she quit the internet years ago when she's still active to this day. They posted videos claiming to be from me to a minor. They never showed proof that it was from me or my Snapchat profile. They never showed proof of who it was to. They cropped context from screenshots, lied publicly and said I admitted the videos were from me. They falsely alluded to the fact that the victim gave them permission and ended up causing massive harassment and terror to Jamie, who they said was a victim of mine. The person in the screenshots claims that I'm not a groomer, that they're extremely out of context, and that the burner doesn't even know what was being discussed, and that now their personal life is being dug into due to an anonymous burner account. On top of that, no one even taps to open the Snapchat. There's no
this was
finger,
weird.
You can't open snaps with a button, but it doesn't even matter because you can see that no buttons were pressed. So how did it open? Nobody touches the screen. You can't open a Snapchat without tapping the button.
The only thing I can figure out with this is that the purple hue that you see on there would be indicative of a finger touch
to open it. So ignoring the fact that there's no proof it's even me, how is this video even real? How did it open? The video doesn't even make sense. People have also pointed out that frames are missing and that the normal Snapchat animation doesn't play at all. But despite all of that, hardly anyone asked any questions. If you replied asking any questions, you got called a groomer supporter. Despite the fact that the proof was a video of a video of a video from screenshots of DMs of screenshots of DMs. You have to go 4 people deep to find anyone that has ever talked to Jamie. I'm not even in any of these screenshots. And the video of the video of the video has like 10 frames where you see the name Dream. Most people spreading this did 0 research. But wait, they reported me. They even reached out to the Orange County Police, my local police. They put it in writing, put their name on it, and solidified that their claims are correct.
Thank you for calling the Orange County Sheriff's Office. To continue in English, press 1. To continue in Spanish.
Basically, what we're going to find out here is that
I have a YouTube channel and I live stream.
He does all this stuff and no allegations are found. So, oh, come on. I think we've seen enough with his video. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Fake things, the conclusion. Let's go with the
Careful
conclusion.
what you believe and ask questions. Believing real victims is important, but not believing fake victims is very important to real victims too. As for my conclusion on this video, I have a couple things to say. First of all, I just want to recognize that I'm probably in this position because of myself. The people that made these claims undoubtedly had unhealthy parasocial relationships with me, and that's why it's gotten to this point. I want to and will do anything I can to denounce this. My view on fans has shifted slowly over time, jumping massively when I face revealed and actually got to meet fans in person, which made things much more real and massively changed my perspective. I think it's incredibly unhealthy to be obsessive with someone, and I also think that it's clear to anyone that's stepping back and looking at these situations that people obsessively hate me and are making up lies about me, which is also because of parasocialness. Parasocial love turned to parasocial hate. And I have no doubt that the anonymous people making these fake allegations were once big fans of mine. I grew up being a massive fan of football, and I had jerseys of my favorite players and was very passionate, so I've always related to stands in that way. But my passion never turned to obsession, and I never truly realized how serious it can get, even sometimes when people were literally telling me. I think that part of why I'm in the position that I'm in right now is because I started pulling away from my fans after my face reveal. Meeting fans in person made things much more real, and I wasn't so chronically online anymore because I actually had real life and things to do. I think that the fact that I'm a very relaxed person overall that has relaxed boundaries has encouraged that type of behavior too. So I'm just gonna re-clarify some of my boundaries. 1, I don't support any sexually explicit art of me or my friends. It never bothered me personally that much because I don't really care about anything, but it is just weird, especially if you're a minor and drawing anything like that. That's gross. I don't support anything inappropriate for minors at all. Art, TikToks, comments, anything. It's gross. 2, serious shipping is bad. I think that prying into people's private relationships, being deeply speculative or anything like that is terrible. I don't mind jokes. I don't mind doing it for fun, but anything serious really crosses the line. Again, I've always found it funny being shipped with George because we're not dating and we're friends. But if you genuinely think that we are dating and it's part of your personality or you obsess over it, you need to get off the internet. That is not healthy. I'm sure I'll make more clarifications in the future, but I just don't want anything weird. Don't obsess over me or my friends. I deleted a video called Stands on my second channel that I made a while ago that I don't
necessarily view the same way now. That doesn't mean.
Okay, so that's pretty much it. What we're gonna do is go down to the comments section here. Important update. The burner account, Burner22, behind the main allegations, has retracted their claims completely and has said they were lied to. So let's get into this. So what happened? I don't know. I don't know what happened with my stream the other night. It just cut out, and then I owe you guys this reaction, and I really wanted to bring it to you. So let's start getting right in. And oh yeah, by the way, lights are up because it's daytime. So let's go through this reaction video. I know we had everything kind of talking about Dream up to this point, and so this is Boblax's video covering what happened after everything that we saw with the live stream the other night. So let's kind of go through this real quick and see what we come up with.
Every major Twitter allegation that has been made against him over the last few years, Dream addressed here and pretty much debunked it, to the point where the accounts that were spreading the most popular allegations against him have completely deactivated their Twitters and left the internet. So you would think that Twitter would be overjoyed that Dream is not an extremely bad person. But Dream's haters and ex-fans are not the most sane.
So yeah, biggest thing first off is the people that were doing these accusations just ended up canceling their accounts. So you got Burner22 gone, Chesscat gone, and Koi gone. I know Burner22 is the biggest one in relation to the whole online allegations most recently. They kind of initially retorted saying that they had more proof than they were going to refute the truth video, and it never happened.
People in the world, and they have been freaking out ever since Dream dropped his video debunking all of the allegations. The first thing that Dream addressed in this response video were the old pictures of him circulating before his face reveal of him as a fat kid, which in the video he confirmed was indeed him. Asian Guy reacts to this by posting the picture and saying, "Dream just confirmed that this was him," starting off the video by admitting about lying. Clautrosity responds by saying, "Once you fully understand the lore of Dream, you realize it's all been manufactured by PR."
By the way, that Asian Guy account, he went back and forth with quite a few people in the community.
Or people in middle management. They loaded him up on Ozempic and tried to turn him into a pop star, and it completely and utterly failed. They should feel embarrassed having tried. Soggy Cat Fan 91 says, "Fellas, is it weird to not want your entire identity leaked?" Jolly Orange says, "Dream was a chud maxing gooner that got onto his Riz mute."
Okay, well, let's get past some of this because I don't know if we really care too very much about oh, God, I wish you had timestamps. Oh, let's see. Let's go here.
You gotta admit, Dream's weight loss is impressive. Now moving on to the Nicholas Cantu part of Dream's response
video. Okay, that's what you want to see.
Axel Has No Idea criticizes it by showing a clip from the response video and saying, "This clip is so funny to me. Dream is highlighting the fact that Nicholas Cantu is 20 years old, so he isn't a minor, but he's still under the legal drinking age."
Again, I think he was just more so illustrating that the dude's not a minor with these points. He never gave anybody alcohol. Reminder, the guy was at the party before Dream showed up. All they did was get an Uber back together.
Jolly J says, "The Gumball Edits and Dreams apology video had my ass crying, cause ain't no way."
Party in Austin, Texas. When I showed up, Nicholas Cantu was there. He was already drunk and was drinking. He was being very aggressive to me throughout the night. I didn't know him. This was my first time ever meeting him, and we were not friends. Eventually, while on FaceTime to show his friends, he hit me out of nowhere. Again, this was my first time ever meeting him. I was there for another hour or so, and then when leaving the party, everyone decided to Uber together because it was late and there wasn't many of us there. Nicholas ended up in the front seat of the Uber that I was in, despite my apprehension. I thought, what's the worst that could happen? It's an Uber ride, and there's other people there, so I wasn't worried. Little did I know, he ended up dropping his phone out of the Uber window in the middle of the highway, and after he got out to look for it, the police showed up and stopped him from looking because it was dangerous and dark. Eventually, the Uber driver convinced Nicholas to leave.
Well, I want to promise you that I'm sober, so if you guys want to conduct a sobriety test.
Again, we kind of went over all of this. So.
Hey, look, hey, we're about to head out.
And after we left, the Uber driver was trying to give advice to Nicholas on the police, telling him that he could have been arrested, and Nicholas did not like what he had to say.
And going back to this Uber driver, I still believe the guy should make a freaking channel. He had such a positive personality and outlook on so many things, and kind of going back to what Jim said in chat the other night, this guy probably has some pretty good fucking stories.
Down syndrome, I don't give a how far did you go in your education?
Who cares? Of course, I started to get involved and argue with Nick, defending the Uber driver, and Nick did not like that at all.
Either you're gonna be paralyzed or you're gonna be dead. Like, I'm serious.
Okay, man. And he was saying this, of course, after he had already assaulted me. While this was all happening, one of the other 2 people in the car with me that I also just met that night was recording him. He was aware of this, and he was actually the one that asked to be recorded.
Thanks for recording, by the way. How long is this? But yeah, this YouTube video is gonna be nuts. Subscribe to the Kanzu Network. Tune your sets right there.
The next day, Nicholas sent me a very nice DM saying that he was sorry for hitting me, that he was having...
Okay, we already went through all of this. Where did my mouse... My mouse disappeared. Oh, no.
Acting like these DMs were real and captions it by saying, I'm out
went too far.
Faked by faking a DM of Pokimane, bragging about scamming people with her cookies.
Yeah, oh, he did show this at the end of the video, and people made a bigger deal out of this than it absolutely needed to be. Basically, he faked DMs just to show how easy it is to fake DMs.
In DMs with Dream, as well as faking a conversation with XQC. That makes him look bad. But it seems that this demonstration worked too well, as people started screenshotting the DM and posting it on Twitter as if it was real. Pokimane showed one of these tweets, acting like these DMs were real, and captions it by saying, I'm out camping and came home to find out Dream is faking DMs of me, laughing my ass off. What? Yes, I saw, and I appreciate the community note. I was just surprised to come back to see fake DMs that caused a ton of hate threads, many with no context/disclaimers. Like, damn. I'm sorry for the stuff I didn't say, laughing my ass off. Outranked responds by saying, this is gonna be a nightmare for your PR team. Chatty Cat says, I'm sure he felt just as surprised to hear you made a joke about fake serious grooming allegations towards him that nearly ruined his life on your live stream with Miskiff of all people. Pei says, read the community note, and still made a fake DM of her to prove a point, fully knowing people would take it out of context and hate on her. Fuck Dream. Ryuk says, I don't know if quote retweets acting dense on purpose, or y'all actually dumb as fuck. He fabricated a conversation with her and did not ask her beforehand. There were tons of people taking that fake DM out of context to hate on her. MJ says, why did...
So I don't understand, like, why this is such a big deal when it happened. He literally was doing something to prove how easily it could be done. Like, that's it. How are you gonna sit there and be responsible for, like, people maliciously taking it out of context and then passing it on?
Didn't Dream, talk to her before doing this? Dream then responds to Pokimane by saying, sorry Poki, people will believe anything. Knowing you and your character, I thought it was so ridiculously fake that no one could remotely believe it, but Twitter surprises me every day and makes the point for me. Gonna go enjoy some of your cookies now. Pokimane responds, appreciate ya clearing things up. It really is insane the things people will believe, laughing my ass off. The XQC DMs were real though, right? Now moving on from Pokimane's fake DMs onto the ones Dream made about XQC, SWB posts a clip from the Dream video and says, no way Dream just exposed XQC.
XQC, I know you're probably watching this. I want you to address this. What do you have to say for yourself? It's irrefutable proof. Look, here it is on a second phone. Prove to me you didn't send me this video. Or you're a pervert. Forever. And everyone watching this will now know it.
Moose responds by saying, this is the most obvious bait I've ever seen. He's just trying to cover up the fact he sent
It's not bait. This is just the fact that he's trying to show that, like, you can recreate this stuff very simply.
Audios to minors and has Bryn exposed for grooming other minors. SWB responds, his defense was, I didn't do it. Oswald shows some tweets from Mary and says, why are Dream stans acting as if they have been personally victimized by Dream, having to address grooming allegations? He then shows a tweet from Mary where they quote tweet Dream on his private account saying, video will be out shortly today on my main channel. No further updates until then, and this will be my final mention of it here, before or afterwards. Mary responds by saying, take deep breaths, guys. We're going to be fine. And remember to watch the video and take a moment to recollect your thoughts before posting anything. And also, Remember to please not post clips or summaries. Love you guys. My DMs are open if you need to talk after the video. And then they show a screenshot of Sapnap going live on his Twitch channel with the caption, "Oh, I love this man. Everyone go watch if you need to distract yourself right now." Mahler shows some more tweets from Dream Stands and captions it by saying, like, the tweet from Cosmo says, "Be right."
Will you pause? Thank you. Alright, I kind of want to get forward a little bit.
Their hun, and then Milo responds, "Have to say about this on Twitter." The video just releases 1 minute ago. Dino Nugget screenshots it and then tweets it out with the caption, "This video is monetized, by the way, so don't watch it until there's a re-upload." Soulprive responds by,
yes, this is the big thing I wanted to talk about. So, obviously we went through Dream's video. I showed you the information in his, description of the video. I still think he should have just, like, outright, if he known that he was going to be working with that charity, just say, "Hey, look, here's the charity I'm working with. This is where all the money's going to. I'm not taking anything. All the profits are going here." However you want to say it. But I think that it kind of was a little cold callous the way he did it. I think that could have been better, and I openly criticized that. But I think this is utterly ridiculous. So basically restreaming and like downloading and re-uploading his video just so that he doesn't get the monetization. Well, some of these other channels are big enough that they are going to get the monetization. And what are they doing with the money?
by saying, "Monetizing a response to grooming allegations? That sure is Dream, huh?" Asian Guy 5 says, "For people..."
This fucking Asian Guy 5, oh my god.
"Who are watching Dream's response video today, please watch it through a re-upload or use ad block. He should not be making money off his shitty behavior." And then Holly literally re-uploads the entire 1 hour and 20-minute video onto Twitter. I didn't even know you could upload videos that long to Twitter. But yeah, people really don't want to give Dream views on his defense video. Selena responds by saying, "Oh, so he doesn't get money from it." Harley responds, "That's the idea." And then Jacob Finney responds, "You clearly didn't watch the video. In the first minute, he says it's going to charity. So all you're doing is taking away from charity."
Thank you, Jacob. Nailed it.
Bread responds by saying, "This shit boring hell," showing that they're basically ignoring the response video as it plays in the background, deciding to focus on Fortnite Mobile instead. Keep It Classy says, "Can you repost this with Family Guy clips under it?" Stello shows this screenshot with the caption, "Dream's apology video," showing a YouTube video of a guy in a car, with a comment below highlighting the best parts of the video, which is driving recklessly, abandoning homeless...
Oh my god, we gotta cover this guy's video at some point. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but this guy's quite the character. This is an actual apology video, the timestamp said he had. And obviously it'd been retitled, but oh my god, I can't remember this person's name, but they're a TikTok individual. So of course, you know, TikTok bringing in the dredges of society for us.
Woman running over dog, having sex with autistic girl, impregnating 14-year-old.
These are all real things, by the way.
Meeting up with 12-year-old, texting underage girls, disrespectful to women. Sarah tweets out this Family Guy clip with the caption, "Dream dropped a new 1-hour response video."
Oh my god, who the hell cares?
Ouija says, "Hashtag Dream is a freak. Yapping for 1 hour, 20 minutes. I ain't watching that."
Monetization on this video is on, but every dollar will go to a charity that's...
Skull Lord says, "Hashtag Dream is a freak, hashtag Dream is a groomer." I haven't finished the video, but on one point of the video...
I saw this one. The whole fact that you're sitting there and you're like, I haven't even finished the video, but screw this guy.
He said, "Believe or not, I have one of the oldest audience in all of Minecraft YouTube." No, the fuck you don't. Your fan base are middle schoolers. He then quote tweets himself and says, "Dream oldest audience," showing this TikTok of a Dream stan.
Thank you. I know it's pretty popular.
Okay, that's a little brutal.
Because I do the wings myself. I glued them. I tried to glue gems, but I did it with nail polish, like the Quill nail polish, and it didn't work. So I'm gonna have to work on that. But it says Dream, but that's a W, but we won't tell nobody. And then the first time I tried to do it, it failed. So I made this today, and I painted it, and then I drew on it with...
Okay.
Sunken Wizard
There,
responds
thank
by
God.
saying,
Sorry
you
about
know,
that.
you just ruined my fucking night by showing me this video again. I was hoping I would never see this again. I even forgot about it until you brought it up. Zhang Yong says, Dream finally released video apology, not ukulele style. Isabella posts this clip with the caption, just saw the new Dream vid.
I will get into details of my life that you probably don't want to hear, and I don't particularly want to share either, but it feels necessary given the circumstances, and honesty and truth is my top priority.
Don't give a shit, dude! I don't give.
Oh my God.
Would ever hand anything to a man who chases after little boys.
Oh. As you
Didn't
can
address
see,
in his video. His
this was a fantastic just spur out tweet that I also saw. Things that Dream did not address in his video. Trump supporter, anti-Semite, racism, sexism. What he did address, him using Snapchat as an adult, Gumball slapping him, the speedrunning drama, and Moist Critical. No, obviously this is someone who did not watch any of the video. Clearly he addressed all of these things up top here and none of these things at the bottom. Maybe you should watch the video. I'm totally kidding.
Past as a Trump supporter, his history of anti-Semitism, his history of racism, his history of sexism. What Dream did address! Him using Snapchat as an adult, Gumball.
By the way, Boax is like one of the best spur out voices. Like he can just emphasize it so well.
Slapping him, the speedrunning.
There's literally no better person to read Spurgy stuff on Twitter than him.
Drama, Moist Critical? GZ responds by saying, it's like an hour of yapping, and he only wants to address the stuff he thinks will make him look good, shaking my head. Hemp says, the Uber driver sounded like he was reading a whole ass script. Eros responds, I feel like most of the audios from other people, helping / defending him, was all read from a script. Felt a bit forced. Leaving.
How did that feel forced? The dude was just like responding to questions like it was interview style.
Says, I'm sorry, but when did someone's political compass take priority over allegations of being a groomer? This just reeks of you being at most 16 years old. You just don't understand a single point nor watch the video with an open mind. Do better. Perry Leaf responds, Moist Critical? To which Asian guy responds, showing a screenshot of the segments in Dream's video with one of them being labeled Moist Critical. Sweet Claus responds by saying, I cannot get over this, showing the part of Dream's video where he shows off Charlie's thirst trap pictures. Asian.
That's all so stupid. Like, I kind of get how that was vaguely wrapped in. I know I didn't touch on it in the video when I went over all the stuff, but like, it's dumb.
Guy then makes another tweet that says, Dream spent 30 minutes talking about the grooming allegations against him. He spent 10 minutes talking about the Gumball shit. He spent 10 minutes talking about him using Snapchat. This is a 90-minute video. Asian guy then shows that one of his tweets got showcased in Dream's montage of hate tweets that he included in his response.
This is the tweet that kind of went viral in the commentary sphere of stuff, so it was kind of funny.
Video, and he captions this by saying, oh my god, I got a Dream notice! Now Dream, why did you put me and a lot of other smaller accounts in the video and completely uncensored? You know damn well what your community is known for.
Basically saying that because he featured them, they will now be going after him, which, you know what, kind of don't blame them. I mean, he's not been the nicest guy.
Aiden responds by saying, are you doing okay? Has anyone else sent you anything yet? Asian guy responds, I truly do not give a fuck if people send me shit. It's just that I know that a lot of other accounts, many who are smaller than me, were also featured, and like, Nicholas Diorio quote tweets them and says, because you deserve to be made fun of. Keemstar says, why did you publicly post it, retard? And then Joe Munchin responds by saying, why did you publicly post this? Showing the classic.
This went on to like a whole like tangent that ended up awful for fucking Keem. So Keem responded, why did you post this? And so then now people start calling him out for that post and a couple other things.
Tweet from exactly 7 years ago where Keemstar says, I just hit a dog going 70 miles per hour on my truck. Such a shitty Christmas Eve right now. It ran right up on the highway. I hate this year so much. Yes, it died. Hopefully this year's Christmas Eve is more safe for the stray dogs living near Keem's area. And I hope you guys are having a good Christmas Eve so far as well. Robbo responds to Keemstar by saying, why did you kill that dog? And on Christmas Eve, terrible fortune. Cool for you.
Okay, that's not a bad response, and I think that picture is kind of bomb.
Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, the accounts that made most of these major allegations against Dream deactivated their accounts, but before they did so, they made a couple tweets, like Burner22 saying, "I had a chance to watch the video. Unfortunately, Dream, you have a very unreliable person make a statement in your video. Please see my next tweet." To clarify what we are saying, either this person lied to us about the allegations being true, sent us fake proof, and then gave us permission to post it for whatever reason, or they lied in Dream's response video about the allegations being false, and the allegations are true.
So I think this all comes back to the one woman that was featured in, I think it was Jamie was their name, Dream's video that's actually a friend, and they kind of are a closer personal friend. They privated all their stuff a while back, but this Burner22 account was saying that they left the internet and all sorts of stuff, which is hilarious because now Burner has left.
After these tweets, Burner account deactivates, and then Dream updates us about it in a pinned comment on his response video where he said,
which I didn't want to go over the pinned comment in his video. This is kind of why I blew past that in my live stream, because I knew we were going to cover it in this video.
As important update, the Burner account Burner22 tweeted that they were unsure about the reliability of their claim after seeing my video, and then as of 4 p.m. EST time, deactivated their entire account. I'm assuming this is their only further comment. Another person who made a giant exposed thread on Dream, which Dream dismissed in his response video due to them using Burner22 as a source, who he did debunk in the video, was called Dreamscaper. Dreamscaper tweets about this when they say, "Burner22 has deactivated. In light of this, I'd like to quickly clarify once again that I have no relation."
Okay, I want to see their original tweet here. It says, just over a week ago, the Burner account shared concerning videos heavily suggesting that, though not confirming, that the Dream, that YouTuber Dream had sent sexually charged messages to a 16, 17-year-old girl named Jamie. Okay, so I did remember her name right, on Snapchat. And, this is, let's see. So then he says, they deactivated. In light of this, I'd like to quickly clarify once again that I have no relation to them. All they did was post a video, which I investigated independently. Yeah, but if your basis for your investigation is false...
to them. All they did was post the video, which I investigated independently. I would also like to point out, however, that the Snapchat recording itself only gets more convincing the more I look into it. This is a far more complicated situation than fake allegations. I aim to make that clear as soon as possible. Cloygon reacts to Dream's response video by saying, "That was one of the worst response videos to allegations I have ever seen." They then deactivate and Ray reacts to it by saying, "No!" Mori quote tweets them and says, "Dream is absolutely threatening to sue people." Nicholas Diorio says, "W Dream." Hannah reacts to Dream's response video by saying, "How life feels right now after the allegations against Dream were proven wrong."
Okay, I don't want to, like, deal with another claim on my...
It, buddy. Mellow Proto responds,
"Pretty awesome response video, good for him. Oh, this is not it, buddy."
I find it interesting that almost everyone under the age of 24 says stuff like this, but almost everyone older has a similar opinion to Muda.
Yeah.
Yin responds to Muda by saying, "You might get dragged for this." Vanilla says, "He literally pulled a Yandere dev. I can't," laughing my fucking ass off. Anonymous responds by saying, Did you watch the video?" Drifty Film responds to Muda by saying,
like I said, the response video is what it is. I would have done it in a different order. I don't care that he addressed the other claims. I still think this should have been broken out maybe into a different video or something. But I didn't have a whole lot of problems with the actual video itself.
"No way you sat and watched that whole thing." Obai responds to Muda by saying, "Muda, you're gonna get dragged." VOEROS says, "Yeah, it's legit. The hate and spin people put into the internet when their obsession doesn't reciprocate or give them what they want is wild. I'm genuinely surprised so many people still fall for these lies." Harley TBS says, "You are so cool for actually saying this." Nad says, "I think bro is a little annoying, but holy shit, why do people actually want him to be a PDF file?" Great Ninja responds by saying, "Cause if he..."
That's a fantastic thing that, like, nobody's really, like, hitting on here. Why do you want him to be this so bad? And that kind of goes into that whole thing that we were talking about the other night, where, like, I feel like there's this big, like, want to be a victim of these things because of the empowerment that you get as an individual and the praise that you get as an individual and the attention that you get. So I think that drives a lot more people to be willing to make false allegations just because it's hard to prove something that didn't happen, and it's easy to fake something that didn't happen. So that's kind of where we're at.
If it isn't a PDF file, all of them would have to admit they were wrong. So to save their own egos, they need to double down on it. Dark Viper AU reacts to Dream's response by saying,
"Oh God, this guy. The guy that's freaking copyright claimed so many people." Let's see his take.
Those of you who hate Dream really need to stop commenting about his video before watching it. When you continue to make claims that are addressed/disproven in the video, or when you make statements about the video that shows you didn't even watch it, it is very hard to take you seriously. The public seems to have no credibility when it comes to Dream. It appears as if you will accept anything claimed by anyone, regardless of the bias. You should have spent all your time crying wolf to the extent that even if Dream has actually done something wrong, it will just get bundled up with all the times you cried wolf. There is a reason that nursery rhyme exists. The people who hate him and accuse him of wrongdoing act legitimately evil as a collective. Dream could be the most horrible man alive, yet those who hate him seem to have the life mission of making him look better by comparison. Nicholas Diorio said,
Okay, so Dark Viper, I'm not a fan of them as a person because of the stuff that went on with their content and what they did, but that was a pretty good point.
Anti-Dream Stan account farmed thousands of likes for an entire day and privated his account the second he was called out with screenshots. Many such cases, showing Finn making a tweet that says, "Sorry Dream, but even the general public does not agree with you yapping for an hour with your lies." The like to dislike ratio speaks volumes, showing that the likes are at 189k, while the dislikes are at 132k. Nicholas Diorio responds with, "Yeah," showing the direct like to dislike ratio stats from Dream's dashboard, where it shows the video actually has 299k likes and 32k dislikes. Chris the Narc responds by saying, "I love that the bio is saying it was never that serious. What a tool." Nicholas
Oh my God. So you're gonna fake a like to dislike ratio just to sit there and act like your point is proven? And then it's something, again, that's so easy to prove that it's like, why would you even go out of the way to do that?
Spawns, what a coward, lol! These people need to be shit on. Nick then follows up his tweet by showing that the account that made those claims about the dislikes now no longer exists.
Damn.
Nick then further elaborates on this by saying, "So, people are roasting Dream and saying he's about to be ratioed in his response video. The only problem is the stupid plugin is off by like 140,000 dislikes, lol. Here are the exact analytic on the video. Why do people use dislike plugin that doesn't even work? Turns out the video was overwhelmingly supported, showing that the current ratio of likes to dislikes on the video from Dream's YouTube studio is at 89.8%.
Damn.
Dream then confirms these stats that Nicholas Diorio posted when he tweets them out with the caption, "No one wins here. Not me, not anyone. Picture attached with all retractions since my video."
This was a 10 out of 10 post, and I'm so glad that Boblax covered it here, so that way it's just archived.
If you haven't, please watch it. Thank you to everyone who has been patient and open-minded. Thank you all for all of your support since. This is my final tweet on the matter. And then, of course, he links the images that were referenced. Commander Carl responds by saying, "Dream right after posting this." Alter Curse says, "I'm so fucking proud of you, Dream. I'm sorry this happened to you and everyone involved who was innocent. More than justice, I hope there is healing in the future." The Blue Moon Era says, "I'm sorry for all that you went through. I hope you can slowly start to move on."
It's cool that there's people that are understanding and understand that this is impactful to a person. Just, you know, dealing with false allegations is hugely impactful. Again, I know I referenced it the other night, but going back to the Quite situation, like, that dude went through some stuff.
On mentally. I can't imagine the toll this must have taken on your mental health. Hopefully this can be a wake-up call to everyone. Well, unfortunately that wasn't the case, as Distorted Femboy refused to wake up and just replied, "Don't care." .4PF responds to Dream by saying, "I think I speak for everyone when I say we stand with Dream." And then Mini Ninja responds, "Hell no." So it seems that despite Dream's response being received overwhelmingly positively on YouTube, Twitter is a lot more mixed on it. But I think that's mostly due to them just not watching the video. It's over an hour long.
I think that Bo Blacks is right here. I think that a lot of people just didn't watch the video, which is why I kind of wanted to feature it and at least jump around to like the important timestamps that were within the video.
I don't blame people for not wanting to watch it, but if you care enough to tweet about this on Twitter, I feel like you do owe it to yourself to hear Dream out in his response video. So if you guys still haven't watched it and want to give an opinion on Dream down in the comment section below, I will also leave his response video in the description for you guys to check out so we all can engage in a well-informed discussion in the comment section of this video. And speaking of keeping you guys informed, particularly on Dream drama, after listening to Dream's response video and seeing how all of the accounts making these accusations deactivated after Dream's response, I'm going to refrain from making any videos talking about Dream allegations that does not have substantial evidence. In the past, I would just cover it to archive it because a lot of people were talking about it, but now that Dream has proven that people are willing to go to extreme lengths to make a lot of this stuff up, I feel like it would be irresponsible for me to continue covering allegations that don't have
And I think that's respectful. I think a lot of people have taken that position. Just with what happened with Dream, you know, a lot of people, I think, are starting to realize that they need to take a step back and need to hear things out before they report on this stuff. I mean, there's this kind of was a double-edged sword because it took so long for him to respond. I mean, it took him a little over a year to actually come out with this response video, and I kind of get it because I think he actually had his legal team going to these courthouses, trying to pull records. All of that takes a lot of time, and I think that's kind of where just the whole time factor came into play. I think that Dream pretty much cleared his name on this. I mean, you're going to have people that are going to be kind of hating no matter what, but the fact that the main accusatory accounts have now closed, I think that just shows to further the proof. I do think that, I mean, this is kind of a said and done deal at this point. Unless there's some like actual proof, and it's horrible as I don't want that to happen. I don't really want proof to come out. I'm happy with the dude not being anything like that. I do think that it's just important to take this as kind of like educating people to listen to both sides of a story. Sometimes it takes a long time for that other side to come out, but that other side that might come out actually may have better information. In this case, that proves the point substantially. That's kind of going to be it for this video. Again, I'm sorry this Dream crashed and everything. I've been dealing with some other stuff. Plan on doing the normal stream on Friday. There's going to be a little bit of a special announcement with that. But other than that, enjoy the new year. Enjoy your time with family. You know, we're on the downslope of winter now, so hopefully it'll start getting nicer and nicer out, and looking forward to spring and just being outside and enjoying time. But anyway, that's pretty much going to be it for today. Again, look forward to seeing you guys on Friday, and hopefully you'll be back. Have a great New Year, and see you guys on Friday.